The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS.
Hey, what's going on, gang? Good afternoon. Hi there. Greetings. What's up? What's up? My name's Alan Cox. Thanks for being here. Welcome and all that. Happy Monday. Happy Halloween. Let's see what happens here. We got a short show today, so cram in whatever we can. Say hi to Bill Squire. He's right over there.
Hey, creepy hugs, everyone. Thanks for listening to and watching this episode of The Alan Cox Show. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share a cold one with the boys. And I feel fine. I don't know why. I feel fine.
Yeah.
Is it extra creepy hugs today?
Yes, it is. And I feel fine. I didn't get bit.
You didn't get bit?
What did he get bit by?
Ask him what his Halloween costume is. That's what he wants you to do.
What's your Halloween costume?
I don't have one. I mean, I'm just a guy that I'm just living life. I didn't get bit by a zombie. What are you talking about?
Is that what it is? A zombie bite on his
bite his arm, but he's the guy who wouldn't tell you if he actually got bit by a zombie.
I see. All right.
It's actually flaking off already pretty bad.
He's, yeah, well. Anyway, hey, Mary Santora is here, too.
Hi, guys. I'm a scarecrow, and no one else in the office is dressed up.
No, I didn't know that was a thing today.
Dress up.
I did.
Please put your headphones on over your scarecrow hat, though.
They're too big. Do you want me to?
No,
I
no.
tried.
I just think if he could do it, it would be funny.
I tried.
I did dress up, though.
You didn't dress up.
Yes,
You're
I
not
did.
in costume. You're
That's
in your
his
regular
costume.
clothes.
He doesn't usually come in with a zombie bite on his forearm.
We need to discuss office etiquette. I thought I've only had bar jobs where everybody dresses up for Halloween. It's like a big thing. Not one.
You know this isn't a bar job, right? Like
Also, this is like your third Halloween.
people
here.
aren't sleeping
no,
under the
last
board.
two have been what's it called? COVID.
Right, but it's about the same.
Yeah,
as
that's
when
what I'm
they're-
saying.
Yeah.
We
It's
never
a-
stopped going in, and we never dressed up on Halloween.
Because it was like COVID.
So
I didn't think anything of it.
The hell does Halloween costumes at work have to do with COVID?
I thought more people would be in the spirit. That's all I'm saying.
Ah.
I'm not mad. I mean, I'm a little shocked when I walked in and it was like not one person wore a funny hat or
No.
a mask or
No.
a different shirt.
This is a place of business.
Just
We're
dressed
adults.
like a Monday.
Adults.
Whatever, dude.
Poundcake's back in Studio G. Did he dress up?
I did not dress up. I did
No,
not
because
dress
he's
up
got
this
a
week.
morning job. He's a businessman in the morning.
Actually,
he's
everyone
executive
at my morning job
Poundcake.
dressed up.
See?
Everyone at my morning job. I was
right,
walking
so-
in with Fruit of the Loom characters and like Teletubbies. Like it's an excuse for grown men to dress so childlike.
Why do grown men need an excuse to dress like a child? I don't
mean-
understand it.
I could wear this any day that I wanted to. That's true. I could just do my scarecrow makeup. Bill asked me if I was going to a country music concert tonight.
I thought that's what you look like you're dressed as.
Honestly,
Like,
I
music
thought
man.
you dressed
Exactly.
up because you were going to a thing after the show.
No, I dressed
You
up
dressed
because
up
it's Halloween.
No, I understand.
That's what I did. I dressed up because it's Halloween.
But was there any indication that was going to be the norm here at work?
I thought maybe someone might wear a silly mask or a
Well, a
hat
couple of people
or
this morning, when I came in this morning,
something.
because Mondays now is when they have like everybody's here, they have like all staff meetings and stuff, sales meetings. So I always forget. So when I walk in here Monday morning, the place is friggin' packed.
Mm-hmm.
There were a couple of people that had dressed up. But if it makes you feel any better, they looked stupid too.
It's fine.
Here at work.
It is what it is.
Right?
Well, it's just I guess I wasn't
Because girls want to
anticipating-
dress up sexy, and you're not going to do that here at work.
I mean, I'm a scarecrow. I, got
I
a
know,
little
but you're
extra boob
juggy.
out.
Yeah,
I got a
you
little
got
extra
another
boob out.
button undone, and you know.
But yeah, I walked in and I was like, oh no. Oh no, I severely misread what was happening here today.
Like, have you ever gone to a party that you thought was a costume party and it was not?
No.
Or
I've never
vice
done that.
versa.
This is the closest I've done to it.
I remember years ago going to a party that I didn't know was a costume party.
Sure.
And I walked in. That's probably better than dressing up and
That's
you're the
better.
only one dressed up.
A few years ago,
But then you look like a stick in the mud.
Yeah, I
Erica
get it.
went to a party dressed as Ghost Malone, and
Nobody else was?
nobody else was dressed up.
Oh God, I
So-
love that.
Just everybody was just like they're all dressed up in like their cute little fall outfits, and she's
Yeah.
in full makeup.
Oh yeah,
Like,
they're like, who's this pale girl with the
Yeah.
face tattoos?
Full regalia.
Didn't Kim Kardashian do that over the weekend? I think she went to.
She was Mystique
at a party that was not a costume party.
Whatever you want. Whatever, man.
Well, yeah, but also, she'll make $1 million off the post, too.
Of course.
Oh, no, it's not a costume party. Oops. What did I do all this for?
What a silly goose I am.
With my friends, yeah. You went to the Mushroomhead Halloween concert with your mom on Saturday night.
We had a blast, dude. So, again, cannot reiterate enough how that is not my genre of music.
Understood.
Okay? But we...
you were taking pictures of the band and everything?
We went down and got a little VIP meet and greet with the band, and my mom was, overwhelmed. She was like, oh, my God, I love you guys so much. And...
Did she bang any of the band members?
No, she's 65.
That's a perfectly viable question. There aren't a lot of 65-year-old. There aren't a lot of 65-year-old women into Mushroomhead. A.
That's true.
B. What does it mean? She's not dead. She's 65, so what?
Not that I know of. She came with me, left with me, and there wasn't much. I don't even think she went anywhere by herself that she could have hooked up with a band member. They put on a great show. It was really fun. Excellent people watching.
Long?
They didn't go on till 10:30, and they played till midnight, so only about an hour and a half.
Not too bad.
No, not too bad. Same as a normal headlining set.
That's nice, I guess. People were like, they don't go on until midnight. I'm like, there's no way they go on at midnight.
Back in the day.
Yeah. The people who work, the crew wants to get the hell out of there.
Yeah, no, it was fun. I mean, there was I would say about 50% of the people were in costume, and I watched a drunk, sweaty man who was, I'm almost positive, coked up. He had no teeth, but he had those wild eyes and was raging in the mosh pit. He came out and took a swing at a guy dressed up like Satan, and then security guards had to come up, and I'm like, man, this is pretty cool. You're
going to go for the king, you best not miss.
Right. So he had to be thrown out, but met a couple fans, a couple people said hi, took pictures with some listeners, and then, everybody had a great time.
The mom was happy.
She caught a drumstick and a pick.
Hey.
So she got 2 little to-go presents.
That would be so fun. You get a pick and you get some ice cream. That's nice.
Yeah, she did great.
Okay.
It was a lot of fun. Yeah, we I posted some pictures on my Instagram. There was a lot of people. I mean, I don't really have anything else to say. It was,
no, I understand. That's where I saw it, was on your Instagram.
It was a good time. I have a video that I didn't post of my mom and Brian both, quote, enjoying the music.
Headbanging?
Nope, sitting next to each other just with the smallest little head bob that you've ever seen. Brian's got his arms crossed. My mom's got a blank look on her face.
Enjoying the music.
You guys having fun? They're like, oh, yeah, this is amazing.
It's amazing.
But yeah, it was a really cool show. Theatrics-wise, they put everything into it. It was awesome. They had
that's like their signature show, I think.
Yeah, they had drums that had a bunch of water on them, so when they would bang it, the water would spray up, but it was all different colors, and there was dance. It was
the heavy metal Blue Man Group.
Yeah, kind of actually. There was a lot going on, but it was very entertaining. Sounded great, and like you said, it was more melodic. There was some really heavy stuff that I was like, okay, I can't understand what's happening here. But there was some I guess what would be a heavy metal ballad where you could understand.
They put out a lot of albums.
Singing. It was great. Yeah. It was an absolutely fantastic show. My mom had the time of her life. It was a really good time.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, let me take a break here. I will have another $1,000 for you closer to 2:30. A shot for you to go fund yourself. I'll also have WASP tickets for you later on if you dig those guys. Bill Maher is coming to MGM Northfield Park. So if you're a fan of his, I'll get you set up later on too. 35192 to text for anything. If you want to call live, 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
This is the Alan Cox Show. Everywhere on our free iHeartRadio app or whatever smart device you have. Just tell it to play the Alan Cox Show on iHeartRadio.
Your afternoon drive is brought to you by the Ken Ganley Auto Group, Ohio's #1 automotive retailer.
So we just switched to Verizon Home Internet.
How do you like it?
It's fast, reliable home internet at a price we love. Free.
Free? Well, tell me more.
With the Verizon Forward program and the ACP, eligible households can receive Verizon Home Internet for free.
Wait, what's the ACP?
The Affordable Connectivity Program. It's a U.S. government program that helps provide homes across the country with access to internet services.
You're telling me I can really get Verizon Home Internet for free?
Yes, there's no surprises or extra fees. No annual contracts or data caps either.
So everyone in the family can stream, search, and video chat?
Yep.
Where do I sign up?
Visit Verizon.com/ACP Home to see if you qualify today.
Services available in select areas. Affordable Connectivity Program ACP is a government program providing eligible households with internet service discounts. One program discount per household. Verizon Forward is for eligible residential customers with ACP applied to a Verizon Home Internet plan. Discounts may vary.
Hey, Nissan, how do you get to the top?
Calculating. Proceed to 1959. Take a hard left in East Africa at the 71 Safari Rally. Veer right for 19 off-road championships in the Baja Desert. Proceed towards Moab. Take the trail to Hell's Revenge. Include steep incline. Continue for the next 1,000,000 miles.
Where to first again?
60 years, millions of miles, and the capability to take you anywhere. This is the new Nissan.
The new era of Thursday Night Football is only on Prime Video. This Thursday, the high-flying Philadelphia Eagles roll into Houston to face a Texans team hungry for an upset. Pregame coverage begins at 7 p.m. Eastern with TNF Tonight, delivered by Little Caesars. Not an Amazon Prime member? Sign up for a 30-day free trial to stream the game. It's the Eagles and the Texans, only on Prime Video. See Amazon.com/watchtnf for details.
Ohio, DraftKings Sportsbook is coming to celebrate. All new customers will receive $200 in free bets. Plus, 5 lucky customers will win a $100,000 free bet. That's right. DraftKings Sportsbook is giving you $200 in free bets just for signing up today. No deposit required. Plus, you'll be entered to win a $100,000 free bet when you sign up. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and sign up with the code BUZZARD to get $200 in free bets to use once mobile sports betting hits Ohio. Plus, 5 customers will win a $100,000 free bet only at DraftKings Sportsbook with the code BUZZARD. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966. 21 and older. Physically present in Ohio. Eligibility restrictions apply. See terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook. Subject to regulatory licensing requirements. 1 per customer. $200 issued as 8 $25 free bets. No purchase necessary for sweepstakes. Void where prohibited. Ends first day. DraftKings is allowed to operate in Ohio. See terms at dkng.co/OH.
New on Curiosity Stream. Grab your lab goggles. We're out to find the world's coolest, loudest, and most in-your-face experiments.
Wow, that's impressive.
See how hands-on science can change our everyday lives on oddly satisfying science. Plus, from goats to guard dogs, hear surprising stories about the creatures that brought humanity to the next level. It's animals that changed history. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
Get more for your money every time you shop Meijer. Start shopping for the season's best holiday toy deals.
Accents, get it slippery down there?
I'm so turned on, I think I'm actually getting dehydrated.
You've come to the right place.
The Alan Cox Show.
On 100.7 WMMS.
Be another $1,000 for in a few minutes. About 10 to be precise, 2:30. Next chance for you to go fund yourself. So listen for those keywords. You get a bunch of them this afternoon. Cavaliers play Wednesday night. They beat the Knicks last night. That's their 5th straight. 121-108 was the Cavs win here at home. And then they'll play the Celtics. Maybe beat them again. They beat them in Boston the other night. Cavs Celtics Wednesday night, 7:30 here on WMMS, which means Cavs Live pregame starts around 7 o'clock. I will have a brand new, today's the last day you can use the promo code SPOOKY for 20% off at CLE Clothing Company. Tomorrow, of course, I'll have a new one for you. Unless you guys want to guess it now. You want to guess the new?
Ooh, I love this. Love this.
You want to guess the new CLE Clothing?
Yes.
Let me make sure I have it.
Say the obvious
let me look.
one.
Let me look. Make sure I have it
say the obvious
correct.
Don't say the obvious one. Pick a different one.
I mean, you can do. I'm going to do that. All right, I'll do the obvious one. Virtuous.
You got it.
You got it. Virtuous. No, that's
turkey.
Turkey. Or thankful.
I got one. Gobble.
Are you
None of
guys
those?
right? Wow.
I don't know that this is
Gravy.
Is it Thanksgiving themed?
Stuffing.
Yeah, I think it's Thanksgiving themed. Well, yeah.
Orange.
Technically, you're closer.
Cranberry.
You know, orange cranberries.
Mayflower.
Cornucopia.
Apples. Cider.
Wine.
None of those. Pumpkin is your keyword for November.
They're off.
They got to start letting me do these again. 20% off at CLE Clothing Company starting tomorrow and then all through the month of November. I think you only have 30 days in November, right?
Yes. And
Pumpkin is going to be your word starting tomorrow at cleclothingco.com.
Unreal.
Oh, it's very real. Couldn't be more real. There it is. The real. I don't have my own studio here at WMMS. I share this with one Mark Nolan. The Mark Nolan Show, of course, airs mornings on Magic 105.7. So he and Jen Pachano, the leggy and vivacious, are in this studio. And then when they're off the air, I come in and start doing my thing. And Jen comes out to tell me this morning, I go, why did you do that? She put out a giant bowl of candy outside the studio window with a sign that said, hey, please take one. 3 dudes walked up and scooped up the whole bowl and walked off with it.
What did you think was
I
going to
go,
happen?
buddy, we're downtown Cleveland. What did you think was going to happen?
Well, trick-or-treating in Berea.
No good deed goes unpunished.
Most places it's like 6 to 8, maybe 5 to 7, 7 to 9, somewhere around there. It's from 6 to 8 tonight, and I didn't know if my boyfriend or I would be home yet. So I was like, hey, should I just put this candy bowl out now? And he said the exact same thing. He goes, no. Some delivery driver's going to come by and swipe it all. Like, it's not even going to be there by the time we get home.
And then that's the double-edged sword of Halloween, is the only quality control you have is if you are answering the door every time.
Or sitting on the porch.
Yeah. And I don't think most people care that much.
No.
Because if somebody walks up and there's an empty bowl, oh, well, don't blame me. Except
Shut the porch light off.
Except it's your house that gets egged.
Yeah.
Because they don't know that somebody else, they're like, you should have had more. Nobody's ever happy. What, Cody?
The only way people put in the effort for Halloween is when they're getting some out of it. Like when they're sitting around the fire with their friends and they have like the alcohol cider, hard cider, whatever it is. And they're sitting around the fire and people come up, trick or treat. And then, they have a bowl right there and then you watch them and then they go on. But the people who want to
but the drunker you get in the driveway, the more candy you let kids take.
Take it.
You know what? A couple of fistfuls got to be fine.
You know that I left Twix.
You know you're not getting grown folks.
It's
doing
almost
it,
over
though.
anyway. It's 6:03.
Right, yeah.
Right.
The people who put out candy on the porch and just leave the light on, I'm like, you wanted to participate but not. Like, that's like trying to win a costume contest by not showing up to work. Like, I'm a ghost. Like, you're not really participating, but you want to participate.
Right. That's right. I don't want to participate. Good. I got to work tonight. I'm doing the Cox out, so I'm completely off the grid for this thing. But in most years, we're in the driveway with the solo stove going and a couple of hot totties, and we're handing out candy.
Sure.
It's fine. I mean, tonight it's going to be like 62 degrees, so it's,
I know, it's a beautiful day.
In years past, it's been very, very cold. But, that's fine. But, like, if you put a bowl out there and say, hey, be cool, everybody, and it's empty in, like, 45 minutes, and people come up, it's your fault. According to them.
Well, whatever.
It's not all the other greedy sons of bitches who preceded them.
Right.
There's some houses on my street that I'd be damned. They look like a haunted house. They better be handing out candy.
Like, you mean like every day of the year they look like a haunted house?
Like
boarded up.
Literally, their house is missing shingles, and it's just like a blue tarp where they didn't finish the roofing job. I'm like, you guys should be handing out candy for sure.
Well, roofs are expensive.
I know, but
those shingles ain't cheap, son.
Candy's not cheap to those people either.
No,
right.
Candy's like $14 a bag of the mixed candy.
Yeah.
There's a budget for every family when it comes to Halloween. Like, if depending on what neighborhood you get the same type of candy. That's why everyone goes to the rich neighborhoods to get the big candy bars. But my mom,
yeah, but that's where you get screwed because you think you're going to get those. And rich neighborhoods, and we were talking about this a couple of weeks ago. A lot of them, they go, we don't observe Halloween because they don't want the poors coming
Stay
in.
away from me.
The upper middle
so
class.
They try. So a lot of those, they'll try to deter you from coming the next year. And you'll think you're going to get a full size, and they'll be handing out those plastic spider rings.
I don't know if I've ever heard of any neighborhood where every house is doing the full size.
Go to
I've never gotten a full size.
No.
I've seen like a house or two, like
one or two.
We knew one house when I was a kid that would hand out full size, and that was it. Like there wasn't like a whole bunch of people that were
handing out full size. By the way, I don't know that full size is like the get that everyone thinks it is.
It isn't.
You'd much rather have like a handful of tiny Snickers, or I mean.
Well, and then you get more variety.
Yeah. I just remember when I was in school, the houses there was a certain neighborhood in Oberlin where it's all the college professors, the doctors, the high school students or high school teachers, like all the wealthy people kind of lived in the same area, and they wouldn't, for whatever reason, it was off from all the regular old folk. So they were happy when kids actually came down. There would only be like an hour left of Halloween, so they would give out the full Kit Kats. They would give out the full Snicker bars because they were just happy to have trick-or-treaters and they wanted to participate. But I also have a loophole. Here's what you do. It's not necessarily rich people. It's people who have like a house that's $300,000 and above, because usually the people in your neighborhood are going to have somewhere similar to your housing price. So you just do that, and then chances are they all compete against each other because they all, well, I don't want Nadine handing out the candy. She can't top me this year.
Poor Nadine.
Housewives
If
get
it's not
jealous.
Vivian not getting to work on time, it's Nadine and her stupid candy.
So just go on Zillow and make a map and see what all the like 300 and above houses in your area, and then go to those houses.
I don't know if it's true or not, but I saw somebody tweeted out a picture of a pile of hot dogs that said, please take one. I don't know if that's real or if it was just a joke, but I'm like, it's definitely a pile of hot dogs. So.
That is a pile of hot dogs.
to make a pile of hot dogs.
Right. In one way or another, that's 50 hot dogs.
What about canned goods? Can we give out canned goods? Is anything game for Halloween? I'm just going to use this
animal shelter
to get rid of, I don't know.
So Poundcake texts us in the group chat on Saturday or something. He goes, I caved. I bought a costume. And it's him looking like Tutankhamun or something. Pharaoh, yeah. And I don't get it. How did you land on that? This was a friend's Halloween party?
Yeah, she's actually on the blacklist. I don't know what number she is, but her name is Monica. And she's like a half. She's like a half number on the
This the one, the driveway you got stuck in?
Yes, I've tortured this woman, and yet she keeps inviting
She'll
me to
forever
her
be
party.
known as...
Her husband was there, and he was like, where'd you park? And I said, down the street. He said, good, because we just redid the driveway from when you broke it.
Get the hell out of here with your dumb car.
My car hit their little water pipe, and so it was broken, so they had to like put gravel and stuff around it, so I saw all the trees. I was like, that was all because of me. But regardless, she invited me, and I wasn't going to be, I was like, I'm just going to find what's in my closet, and that's what I'm going to dress as. I don't have money for a costume. And then I woke up the morning of, and I'm like, I'm not gonna not wear a costume. That would just be like, because literally everyone there was dressed to the nine for a costume. Like everyone had their costume on point. So I just went. I woke up at like 10, and I got to the store around like 10:30. I'm like, no one's gonna be here. It's 10:30, and it was a line to check out. I said, you people need to chill. I know.
It's
That was
last
the
minute.
exact same thing because I was like, I'm not going. It was Saturday. We're going to the Mushroomhead concert. I was like, I'm not going to the Halloween store today. Like, it's going to be.
I didn't have any money.
It's be
But I was
bedlam.
like, it's going to be a nightmare. There's no way. It's going to be absolute chaos. So I was like, just Googling like easy DIY costumes. And then Scarecrow came up. I was like, oh, I have a flannel. I have ripped jeans. The makeup is easy enough. And I was like, dang, I need a hat. I don't have like a straw looking hat or anything like that. And sure enough, my Joanna Gaines boyfriend had burlap and twine in the garage. And I was like, I know I give you
What
a
do you
lot
think
of
the
credit.
You made that?
I made this hat because Brian literally just had a huge roll of
A
burlap
tub full of crafts.
and a spool of twine. So
Wait, did you have to get like a pattern and like?
No, I literally unrolled the burlap, folded it up twice, put it on top of my head, and then tied it with twine. That's all that this is.
He's like, what do you think the live in live, laugh, love means? Means I'm always prepared for a costuming adventure.
I posted it on my Instagram because I was like, I make fun of him so much. He has the eat sign in the kitchen and the hello sign in the living room and his very farmhouse chic. And then I was like,
Is there any chance that he could be suffering from low-level dementia and these signs all remind him what to do in what room?
maybe.
Yeah. Is there
Because-
a sign above the toilet that says poop/pee?
No, it says brush, floss,
Peep on
rinse,
poop.
wash, or something like that.
Keep on pooping.
There's 4. I think it's brush, floss, rinse, wash.
He
I'll
might
post
have
a picture.
he might have like the beginning stages of dementia.
Yeah.
And he can't tell you these are all actual reminders. He's like a memento.
It might be.
Yeah.
There's not a sleep sign in the bedroom though, but he does fall asleep on the couch a lot. Maybe that's why.
Yes, you got to put a sign above the couch that says "Don't sleep."
But yeah, when I went out in the garage and he had both burlap and twine, I was like, my baby, there he is coming through.
Yeah.
I think you're being a real hypocrite right now about my costume because you have.
Your costume's not real.
It's a real costume. I
You
put makeup
drew
on.
on your hand.
I
You
put.
drew on your arm that you cover up.
That's the part of the costume.
Let me see it.
It's a zombie bite, and he's the guy who doesn't tell you he got bit by a zombie. Yeah,
But that's not like a decal. Like he put some stuff into it, right?
Yeah.
but it's covered up. The whole point is to cover it up the whole time.
So.
That's part of my costume.
And then you ask
like
him,
you,
who
and
are
you're
you?
like you're wearing clothes that you wear anyway. So are you.
Yeah, but I didn't. I made a hat.
I had twine and made a hat. My boyfriend had
I
twine.
had twine hat.
Yeah. I got to
You're
give you some
wearing
money
A
here.
little bit more makeup than you when you actually do makeup.
Let me give you some money. It's $1,000, a chance for you to go fund yourself. Listen closely and good luck.
The Buzzard wants you to go fund yourself and score $1,000. Enter the nationwide keyword dollar at WMMS.com. That's dollar. Enter it now at WMMS.com. And good luck from Buzzard Radio.
Did Poundcake explain why he was a pharaoh?
It was just what
Just
he
what
said.
the-
Just what they had.
What they
Because they
had.
want to be sexy.
Yeah, so I got to the costume store and it was packed. And by this point, I mean it's Saturday. This is the night that everyone, if they didn't go out Friday, they're definitely going out tonight. Everyone's gonna be out tonight, so the costumes were kind of like picked over. And I was like walking around, and I was like, "Ooh, there's a little sailor costume." And I'm like, "No," I thought about, it, I was like, I could probably I got the arms and the upper body for that.
Look like the kid on the Cracker Jack
But
box.
I just hate those stupid little sailor hats. So I was like, no, I don't want to be a sailor. I've already done the officer thing, no vampire, nothing that had to do with like extensive face makeup. Like I didn't really want to. And then the pharaoh costume, and I was like, I've always wanted to be a pharaoh in real life and for Halloween. So I'm like, it was like $40, and it was a one size fits most. And I was like, with my new slim physique,
Right.
I'm definitely gonna be able to fit this.
You are most.
And so that's just what I landed on because that's what was available and it wasn't picked over and it was like the last one. And so I got it. And coincidentally,
he's always wanted to be a pharaoh.
but I have
In his real life.
But I
He
have
wants
the
to be a
eyebrows.
real life pharaoh.
When I die, I want them to remove my brain through my nose and bury me with all my jewels.
But it just turns out I have the eyebrows and the beard for it. It looks like it matched.
You did great.
So
No, it looked great. It was a good.
Yeah, my mom was like, "Oh, did you get any eyeliner or mascara?" I said, "No." And she was like, you gotta top it all off. You gotta, because I sent her the picture of what it was before I put the makeup on. And then I just put a little bit of eyeliner around it. And I was like, all right, I'm a bad bitch.
You want to see anybody doing makeup correctly on Halloween, feel free to go to my Instagram at Alan Cox Show.
Did you see what I commented?
Yes.
I said, ew, why are you hot? You look a hot chick.
And I did the whole 9 yards, and I was pretty foxy.
I'm a little annoyed with you because on Friday you said you were going to wear your little lime pool boy shorts.
I did not say that.
You
Bill,
said, yeah, maybe
no,
I will. Maybe I'm just
maybe I will wear my tracksuit is what I said. And then I woke up this morning and forgot I don't care about Halloween.
Party pooper.
I just don't care. I'm not begrudging anybody else for doing it. I don't care about Halloween.
You could have gone as a guy who would eat a full bagel.
I wore my heavy metal Frankenstein shirt today. If that, I could go as a guy who ate a whole bagel, but then I just would have felt puffy.
Getting bloated.
Yeah, and I have an appearance tonight. So
what would be the idea in your mind? What's the rock song that is the best Halloween song?
Halloween by King Diamond.
Halloween by King Diamond.
That's right.
All right, one that people know.
I don't know what people know.
I'm gonna
a lot of people know
Dragula.
A lot of people know Halloween by King Diamond.
Let's hear it. I don't think.
Played it? Is that the one you played at the first break?
No, that was the Misfits.
Yeah.
Glenn Danzig. People know Frankenstein by the Edgar Winter Group, but that's
Be My Frankenstein by Alice Cooper.
Alice Cooper.
That probably topped my list.
Well, you're never going to beat King Diamond for high falsetto, Danish, heavy metal excellence and campy imagery,
All right,
face painting.
I just wasn't familiar with this song, but I can. It's a front runner, but I'd say something a little more well known.
A little well known.
Yeah, like
yeah, okay. I mean,
let's say. I mean, my vote is for "Be My Frankenstein" by
I don't know that either.
Alice Cooper.
Monster Mash. Why aren't we picking the classics here? This is Halloween.
because I think of
We're
like
talking about rock songs.
Yeah,
Those
rock
are rock
song.
songs. You don't rock
Monster
out
Mash.
to Monster Mash?
Not as
Do
much as I
not.
used to.
Come on.
Hold on here. Don't people just know this from Wayne's World?
That's what I know it from. Since I was a little kid when that came out. Mary's never seen Wayne's World, though.
No, I have not.
I've never seen Wayne's World. It's kind of a dude movie, though, I think. It's kind of a Gen X dude movie.
And it's kind of a... I don't know if it holds up the way... I love it.
Oh, we have a new edition of Mary's Horror Corner review.
What did you watch?
so
I watched a
aggravated.
horror movie, too.
Barbarian.
Oh, don't tell me, because people are... I've heard 50-50 on that. But
Everyone I've talked to has been like, it's amazing, it's so scary, it's one of the best horror movies that's ever
did you
come
go in
out."
cold?
Went in cold.
Yeah.
It was fine. It was
Okay.
exactly fine. Now, I have
It does
cracked
take quite the
code.
turn, though, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
It does. It was good. It was like enjoyable, but it wasn't like the scariest. Like people were making me like, I freaked out. I couldn't even make it past the first 45 minutes. I have my issue with
People got to stop
horror movies.
overselling horror
They
movies.
really do because they almost always disappoint. My problem with horror movies is that the main characters are so dumb. And they do things that a normal person, I feel like, would never do. Like, they go against
It's a trope.
every
It's like
single
parody that-
societal norm to get yourself in these situations.
Right, but if they run away, it's a 10-minute movie.
I understand. And that's what Brian was trying to explain. He goes, you do realize no one's making a movie about someone who didn't go to the dangerous
Runs
situation.
away. Yeah. Got home safely.
No.
But then there are movies where it is a situation... I think of The Strangers all the time. Like, that's one where the danger comes to them, and I think they are trying to handle it as best
better.
they can.
Danger coming to the person.
Right.
Like
instead of-
Breaking Bad.
Yes.
Yeah.
He wasn't there for the meth. The
He's
meth
the one
was
who
there for
knocks.
him.
That's right. He was the danger. Watch a movie called Run, Sweetheart, Run.
Okay. Well, we also watched The Conjuring. We watched 2 last night because...
That's a suspensey movie.
Well, and here's what I told Brian. I said, here's the problem growing up in essentially a cult, being Pentecostal, is that we believe in demons and possession and exorcisms and things like that.
That's why those movies are so popular.
I had a hard time sleeping after watching The Conjuring because it's like, you're right, it is suspenseful. It's a lot of noises, a lot of creaks, a lot of
Jump
doors
scares, yeah.
slamming. So then I'm laying awake in bed just waiting for a noise. That's the problem, is that when I watch like a possession movie or a ghost movie where it's not like a present antagonist the whole time, it's a lot of noises.
But
so
under
I'm
those
laying in bed
circumstances,
waiting for those noises.
And you will always hear one.
Yes, I hear
You
the
will
floor
always.
But that's why those movies are so good.
Right.
That's what makes that
But
good.
that's why, like, like
there's
Barbarian
demons everywhere.
or Smile, like those types of movies where there's a physical presence that is the bad guy, doesn't scare me as bad as when it isn't.
It's like when I was a kid, my dad would go, "It's just the house settling," and I go, "Settling? Was it get up every morning and
Right.
stretching its chimneys and
bones.
Yeah. Oh, it's just the house settling.
I watched
for a long winter's nap.
I watched Black Phone last night, and that one's pretty intense because it
That's
has
Stephen King's son's story, I think.
It deals with kids getting kidnapped, so that'll that's
That amplifies it.
for sure. And there is like a supernatural aspect to it, but it's not over the top
Sure.
supernatural. It's kind of just like is coincidental in a way.
Yeah.
But it was all right. It was intense because you don't want the kid to get killed for most of the movie.
Right. Well, that's what everybody was commenting on my Instagram, and they're like, I can't believe you like The Conjuring more. I said, no, and it's not that I liked it more. Barbarian was a good, well-written movie, but how everyone's like, The Conjuring, demon possessions, exorcisms could never happen. And I'm like, that's how I feel about regular horror movies, because I would never stay the night in an Airbnb.
Well, those
in a
Conjuring
broke
movies
down-
also are supposed to be based on that couple.
Yes, and I Googled it, and it's like, all these things happened. It's
They
on
have-
video. Like, they
well,
have.
it's been debunked, but I mean,
Whatever.
it's like the Amityville horror.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was debunked, but listen, who cares if it's true or not? If it makes for a scary story, that was a well done movie.
The ones that scare me the most are the possession movies, the demon movies, the ghost movies, and we hadn't watched one of those yet this month. I've watched more horror movies this month than I have in the last 10 years. And that one got me because, like you said, I'm just waiting for a noise that I'm inevitably going to hear, a stick against the window or something. I'm like, that's it. And the whole thing in The Conjuring, it's 10 years old.
But that's it. What? You don't expect something is going to walk into your room.
It might.
Or come up through the floorboards.
A presence may be making itself known.
Huh.
But I told Brian we're getting ready to go to bed, and the whole thing is that the lady killed herself at 3:07 in the morning, so everything starts happening. And I woke up at 3:05 last night to go pee, and I woke him up. I was like, "It's almost 3:07." He's like, "Get your ass back in bed."
This
Do
poor
not
guy.
wake
He's
Like
I
this is
gotta
what time
get
I
up.
wake up to go to work. That's why it's
work.
scary.
You know the noise you heard? Me getting ready for work.
Do you think they're
For
here?
my hard job.
Yeah. Do you think they're here? It's 3:05.
Honey, I heard a ghost making lunch this morning at 3. No, that was me going to work.
Coffee, idiot.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
What was that bubbling noise I heard? Was it from the pits of hell?
Is it toil and trouble?
It was my coffee maker, darling. I got a break. If you'd like to text 35192 to get me there, AlanCoxShow.com if you want to watch live. And you can listen wherever on the iHeartRadio app.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS. And
Pre-recorded.
100.7 WMMS, Cleveland.
He might have been just a voice man.
He's the man of 1,000 voices.
Greatest voice man that ever lived.
None of which will make you laugh.
But he never took a performance for granted.
Alan Cox.
On 100.7 WMMS.
Anything can happen on Halloween. Your dog could turn into a cat. There may be a toad in your bass guitar, or your sister could turn into a bat. Christmas time brings the snow. Summertime brings the sun. But on Halloween, your blood begins to run. Something spooky's going down. Anything can happen on Halloween. It's better than a video.
Better than a video. I know this is from the 80s. It was cutting edge technology back then. I love Tim Curry, boy. I'm a sucker for Tim Curry. When he goes, I'm going to be really bummed out. There was a movie in the mid-80s called The Worst Witch. And Tim Curry plays this character that sings this super campy Halloween song, and I love it so much. Your teacher could become a sardine. Yeah.
It could happen on Halloween.
Your dentist could turn into a queen.
My dentist is.
Yeah. I may start playing Begin the Begin. Wow. He's just trying to come up with things that rhyme with Halloween that have no connection whatsoever to the kids that were watching this movie.
It's like the Mulaney joke about writing the song for the sketch with Keith Richards, and he's like, "Is this how you write music?"
Not funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
No.
Yeah. So some people might remember that song, 1986, a movie called The Worst Witch. And boy, Tim Curry. He was, of course, Frank N. Furter in Rocky Horror, most famously. And he's been afflicted with something. I don't know if he's got dementia or what. He's been confined to a wheelchair for quite some time. And he's, but boy, I love Tim Curry. He's 76, and he's been rolling around. He was the original Pennywise.
The concierge in Home Alone 2.
There you go.
He was great in that.
He was in Clue. He was in Legend under all that makeup.
That new Pennywise, Skarsgård.
Skarsgård.
He's in Barbarian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I watched his brother in a movie called The Northman. That's long and...
Is that about war?
Nordic. Yeah, it's set in like the 8th century or something, but I liked it. So, anyway.
Listen, I got to take this stupid hat off, but then I don't want to look like an idiot. You know? It's so itchy.
I don't want to look like an idiot being itchy.
Everyone always wants to know if famous people are nice. Like Mick Jagger. He came in to host the show. My friends were all like, is he nice? No! Or maybe he is, for his version of life. Because he has a very different life. He's Mick Jagger. That's his name. He's played to stadiums of 20,000 people cheering for him like he's a god for 50 years. That must change you as a person. If you do that for 50 years, you're never again going to be like, does anyone have a laptop charger I could borrow? You know. I pitched him a joke and he went, not funny. I mean, people say that on the internet, but never to your face does a British billionaire in leather pants go, not funny. I spent 2 hours alone with Mick Jagger that week. We were writing song lyrics. It was for a fake song in a comedy sketch. And we came to one point, and he goes, all right, let's all go to the picnic. Let's all have a drink. Let's see what rhymes with drink. And I said, think? And Mick Jagger said, no! And then I said, sink? And Mick Jagger said, yeah. And I was like, is this how you write songs?
Sink. The famous parody song with Sink in it.
It was a good episode of SNL this weekend.
Boy, I did not think so.
Really?
I think I'm out. I think I'm out.
The return of David S. Pumpkins didn't get you all
It did
juiced
not.
up?
It's smelt of desperation.
That was like you could tell that they're reaching. They're just trying to get.
Because I was like, I was so happy to see Bobby Moynihan come back and do that Drunk Uncle desk piece, but I was like, why is he here? Of course, because they were going to do David S. Pumpkins. Tom Hanks had come in earlier, and
Drunk Uncle desk piece, and my girlfriend never saw David S. Pumpkins, the sketch, so she watched it and she was like, "This is hilarious," and I'm like, "Oh, there's like an original one."
Original one's way funnier.
Way funnier, but for her,
of course, it was the first
time.
time. Yeah, I was gonna say the first time
she enjoyed it. So
Yeah.
I was just happy to see them try and bring it back, and I enjoyed it.
I don't get what
that
they're doing.
Drunk Uncle was great.
I don't get what they're doing with the hosts recently. They're putting they're having hosts and musical guest be the same person.
They've done that for a long time.
Save money.
Seemingly not as frequently as they've been doing. They had Megan Thee Stallion doing both. This guy, Jack Harlow, who I know a lot of people get and know, but also a lot of people don't. And he was good. It was all right. But man, I'm just not, I held on to SNL longer than most humans did, but I think I'm out. I think I'm done.
Way to go, Marcelo.
Yeah.
You killed it for Alan.
I mean, Cecily
we
Strong.
finally got a friend on there, and Alan's like, now I'm done.
Cecily Strong is on there still, and I think she's always been underused.
She's incredible.
Keenan is never going to leave. They have to drag him out. And he's great, but he kind of does it,
Same thing.
Same thing.
Yeah.
But he's good at that. And, it was okay. We didn't finish the episode. We stopped after David S. Pumpkins.
There was a couple other ones that I enjoyed, but
I liked the Biden horror movie parody. That was good. But yeah, I don't know. It's just not. We used to religiously watch SNL like on Sunday mornings, and now I forget about it. I don't remember that it's like a thing. Tim Curry had a stroke, people are telling me. There you go. Many years ago. Yeah, God, I love Tim Curry. He's just the best. Anyway, a short-ish show today because I got the Cox out pregame. Browns play tonight for Monday Night Football here at home.
I like the Joker wedding.
That was a one-line bit that they stretched into 9 minutes because the joke was Joker. It was set in Kentucky, and they just kept saying Joker like with this southern twang, and I was like, oh, man.
I just know a lot of people from Kentucky.
A group of writers wrote that.
Yeah, and
that's
got
always
some laughs.
Yeah, I know.
I thought it was funny.
Sketches are not easy to write. I get it.
And then the Kanye Skechers commercial was okay. Long Jinkos. I mean, I'm also not saying these are like the best sketches ever, but they're like, I'm entertained enough by them. Be like, okay, I'll keep it going.
Yeah. Cox Out pregame is at the Ivy tonight. We start around 5:45. Do a couple hours for pregame. Or before kickoff, rather. Browns, Bengals tonight. Got an angry message. If you listen to the iHeartRadio app, you can always leave us talkback messages there. And somebody left me you're mad at Dick.
Hey, Alan. Hey, crew. I listen to Cincinnati radio stations, and once again caught Dick from Dayton calling into Cincinnati and how the Bengals are going to kick the Browns' ass. Well, their host actually had the balls to call him out and said, nope, you're just going to call into an afternoon show in Cleveland and say the opposite. No, never. That's not me, guys.
Good Dick.
F you, Dick, he says. Oh,
259,
no.
by the way.
Oh, come on. You know what I meant. It was a good impression.
We always know what you meant. That's the point.
Whatever.
Yeah, okay. Listen, I don't.
Let him do it.
Dick
Let
can
him
do
have
whatever
his
he
thing.
wants.
He wants to call. He wants to be a part of it.
Yes.
I like that he called him out. Because I called him out too. And it's.
But what's the point of calling him out? I've said to Dick
Because
many
it's funny.
times, Dick, you're going to call. This is not new. I've told him for a long time. You're going to call somebody else and go, rah, rah, Reds or rah, rah, Bengals. No, my family. I don't care. It's fine.
But it's
Let him enjoy his life however he sees fit.
But that's one of the things that, like, when you call him out and he just goes, like, he either completely ignores it or just goes, oh, yeah, and then just kind of like goes into a different topic. That's one of my favorite things.
Yeah. By the way.
Whoa, that was loud.
I like to get people's attention, Mary. Sleepy Raggedy Ann over there. Okay, let me, if the Browns win tonight, Terry the Goat will be 8-0 for the first time ever. She got every other pick this weekend that she picked. She picked 8 games. She has not missed yet this weekend.
Which there were some crazy games this weekend. And,
yes. That Carolina Falcons game.
Yeah, overtime.
Yeah.
Where the Panthers looked like they had it won, and then they missed an extra point, and then they missed a field goal.
Yeah.
And then Atlanta's like, I guess we'll just go ahead and win this.
Got
now.
within striking distance. Yeah, she picked the Broncos over the Jaguars, Falcons over the Panthers, Vikings over the Cardinals, picked the Saints over the Raiders. Raiders didn't score, by the way. It was 24-0 was the final. She picked the Pats over the Jets, 49ers over the Rams, Seahawks over the Giants. She got all of them correct. This will be the first time ever in Terry the Goat's 4 seasons on this show that if the Browns win tonight, that's a huge if, she will be 8-0.
Crazy things have happened.
Indeed.
I mean, it's a home game. It's a Monday night. The Bengals have some players out. They have their best wide receiver out. I mean, there's a chance that they could do this. I'd like to see Terry go 8-0. I think that'd be
I would too,
cool.
and I'll tell you what, but people don't realize about the Bengals is that, I mean, Susanna Hoffs is like 50 now, and she still looks great for, you know, what they have her out there doing.
Can I have to do that sigh a little bit more audibly? And
what?
Just so everybody understands.
I'm sorry? Oh, it's Bill's audible sigh, brought to you by iHeartRadio. Alan Auburn fired their football coach. I know. It's my dad's alma mater. Yep. Fewer than 2 seasons. I think they signed this guy to a whole, Brian Harsin as the Auburn coach. And they signed him to a whole, I think, pretty big deal. And they're like, nope, get out. These guys all walk off like getting golden parachutes from their teams. Oh, darn.
Yeah.
My wife and I are going to go back to Sausalito, I guess, and live our lives however we see fit.
I only had to work 2 years of a 5-year deal that pays me $3 million a year. Oh, man. And it's probably more than that for a school like Auburn.
I just don't know how do you make that work. I mean, that's the best gig in anything, are sports contracts. Because you could get, you know, if you're a player, you get hurt. If you're a coach, you can have a bad season. You know, because they sign these guys to massive deals. You know, both my older kids go to Michigan State, so I root for Michigan State. And they were playing U of M, and my wife and her family, it's all U of M. And basically, like my brother and my mom, they're all U of M fans. Well, I root for where my money goes. So Michigan State are playing. And Michigan State had an amazing season a couple seasons ago, right? Beat Michigan, beat Ohio State. So they signed their head coach to like some 10-year, $90 million. Well, now the guy's crapping the bed, right? So they're like, okay. But it's the best gig ever. Because even if they don't pay out your entire deal, which they usually have to do, you're still going to get millions and millions of dollars. You know the joke about how we're still paying Romeo Crennel on the Browns? Because they fire these dudes and they're still paying them for, you know. So next time you wonder why your tickets are so expensive.
There you go.
There you go.
Brian Harsin had a 6-year, $31.5 million deal to coach at Auburn.
Yeah.
Whew.
Well, there you go. Alan Cox Show After Hours line for people who want to leave messages there. And boy, we got a lot of them. I got a big, long political Joe call to play later on, too. God. He was on a tear. And again, you get whiplash from this guy. Wait till you hear this call later on.
I can't wait.
216-986-8903 is that After Hours number.
Hey, Alan. It's Jamie from Akron. You used a little sound clip last week that was somebody like falling down the stairs, somebody falling down a hill, something. And it's a very known 80s thing of, oh my God, oh my God. And I know it. I am 48 years old. I grew up in the 80s, and I know it's from like a John Landis movie, or it's like an Animal House thing or something. And I've tried to Google it, and I cannot figure out what it is. So if you could just enlighten me, I would be really appreciative, because it's driving me crazy.
You know what that's from, Bill, right?
Can I hear it?
His car is going down a hill. He's been forced off the road.
I can't remember where that's from.
The actor is Griffin Dunn. He's Michael Keaton's brother in a movie called Johnny Dangerously.
Johnny Dangerously. Okay. I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
So good.
Yeah.
And so dumb.
So dumb.
Amy Heckerling directed that. She's the one who directed Clueless and Fast Times and Look Who's Talking and one of the vacation movies.
Classics.
Johnny Dangerously. Oh, so good. Only good thing Piscopo is ever in, too. Except Mrs. Piscopo.
Obviously.
Hey, Bill in Lakewood. Hello.
Hey, hi, Al. Hate the show and happy Halloween.
Thank you. Thank you. What's up?
I just want to make a quick thing. You're talking about Michigan State and the kids who went there. And these coaches, the problem nowadays, it's big business, is you get all the recruits to follow the legendary coach, and then they just leave to go to another high-profile school, and you're stuck there. So, you get a full
Yeah,
ride.
I wouldn't even, calling it big business is an understatement. I wouldn't even pretend to understand all the machinations that go into these, but like...
Oh, yeah.
But like Michigan State players were like beating up a Michigan player or something in the tunnel, and they're off the team now.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's weird.
I was just gonna tell you that, like old school tradition, we all go out the same tunnel. That's probably not a good idea in 2022, putting two rivals together and everyone's built like a mountain, and after the game, then they just started fighting. And I'm like, am I crazy or like, why is everyone so shocked? It's just
Bill, it's a metaphor. It's a metaphor for life, Bill. We all enter this world coming out the tunnel. You think we know how to behave? I mean, I didn't. I got lifted out, but you get my point. I mean, you think we know how to behave?
Yeah, I'm gonna say no.
All
we
right.
don't. Like you get hit with a grocery cart in the grocery store because you didn't move fast enough. So
Yeah.
it should apply to football.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
There should be
go
more. I
Browns,
think.
and,
Thank you, Bill. I'm taking Bill's point. There should be more grocery carts on the football field.
Yes.
I think that's what he was implying.
Spice things up a bit.
And by the way, how was the Smashing Pumpkins show?
It was
I heard it was real good.
fantastic. It
Yeah.
was really great.
Did you get to run around and give people floor seats?
No, because we had no floor seats.
Really?
We had no floor seats.
Well, I thought that was the upgrade.
Yeah, well, then they didn't actually come through with them. So,
oh my God,
yeah,
we get no respect.
I know, but it was
Spent
a great
weeks talking about these shows and
great show though.
Yeah,
It was fantastic.
Oh no, we know you've done your part to promote the show, WMMS. We just don't have tickets for you. Oh, bravo.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, because the whole thing was the tickets that we had.
We
were
know
in
you've
a
been
section.
telling people for weeks that you were going to do this, but we just couldn't come up with seats for a not even remotely sold out show.
Well, they closed the 200s.
Yeah.
And then they moved everybody down to like the club level, and
Yeah.
that's the seats that we already had. So
Yeah.
everybody that had 200s was just going to be in the club level seat. So they would have moved up like 2 rows.
Yeah,
So it was-
awesome. Great.
But it was a great show.
Yeah.
Jane's Addiction was awesome. I did not get to see Meg
Myers. Hey, she's great too.
But Smashing Pumpkins sounded awesome.
Mhm.
The Billy Corgan
Billy is who you're thinking of.
was awesome. He is a big lurch-looking
He's very
mofo.
tall. Yeah.
But he put on a great show, and he sounded good, and I had a blast. And they did a good job of playing a little bit of new stuff, but mostly hits. Like he worked.
That's what you want.
Yeah, you got a few new songs, but every song was something that I was very familiar with. So and they did a great cover too.
And an engaged crowd, I assume.
Yeah.
Everybody was into it.
Yeah, they were loving it.
I heard it was real good. Yeah. Yeah, you said they covered Once in a Lifetime by the Talking Heads?
Yep.
It's a great
and it's a
song.
very Smashing Pumpkins cover of it.
Mhm.
And yeah, Smashing Pumpkins, I mean, that's a band that I just have always enjoyed so much, and it's very much just I would say My Chemical Romance is just the millennial version of Smashing Pumpkins.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're just like a gothiness of
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
and like they kind of have these real hard songs, but then they have these songs that sound that they're
Orchestral and melodic,
and
yeah.
melodic and stuff like that. So it's a very similar feeling, real goblin-like frontmen.
Mushroomhead covered War Pigs,
Mhm.
but in the middle of one of their songs.
Yeah.
So they were playing one of their songs, and then the guitar changed, and then it was War Pigs, And I don't think I've ever seen a crowd lose their mind. Like these people
That's cool.
lost it. And then they just played like the first part and the first chorus and then like went back into
Yeah,
their
it's
song.
instantly
It was cool.
recognizable.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah,
And did you sing along with your favorite song, Want to Get in My Car? Did they do that?
It's funny you should mention that.
Oh, God. He's got it on audio.
Want to get in my car. He did it. Oh, want to get in my car. Beautiful. What a great song. All right, I got to take a break. Good. Well, if you went to the show, I'm glad you made it. If we got you tickets, well, we had Ray up there in the VIP. Did you check in on Ray?
I didn't get to see Ray.
From outside our window, he went off us when Billy Corgan was on.
Didn't bump into him.
Yeah. Okay, let me take a break here. I will have another $1,000 for you at 3:30. WASP tickets for you coming back here if you dig those guys. And we'll be back after these.
Wanna get in my car?
It's the Alan Cox Show. Everywhere on our free iHeartRadio app.
Or whatever smart device you have.
Just
podcasts.
All right, you want to go see WASP? Blackie Lawless and the boys are celebrating their 40th anniversary tour, and it brings them to the Agora next month with Armored Saint. I think John Bush is still fronting Armored Saint. The tickets are on sale. All the info at agoracleveland.com. WASP and Armored Saint. It is Saturday, November 12, just a couple of weeks away. Good luck. Caller 10, these are yours. 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
This is the best time of the year when the leaves are falling, and so is your IQ, because you're listening to the Alan Cox Show
on 100.7
WMMS.
I got another $1,000 for it in a few minutes. Dead Kennedys. The song's called Holiday in Cambodia. I was never a huge Dead Kennedys fan. I like them enough, but the drummer's name was D.H. Peligro. It's a guy named Darren Henley who he wasn't the founding drummer of the Dead Kennedys, but I think he played for them longer than anybody else. And since I was playing the drums, I was always picking those things up. And he just kind of had this awesome stop-start kind of thing. And he died, D.H. Peligro. For people who are familiar with him, he spent some time with the Chili Peppers. After the Dead Kennedys broke up, the Chili Peppers hadn't blown up yet, and so he replaced their founding drummer. But they kicked him out of the Chili Peppers because he was doing too many drugs. Imagine getting kicked out of the Chili. Well, Hillel Slovak, I think, had just died, and so that was probably still very much a raw nerve for them. And but D.H. Peligro, when the Dead Kennedys got back together in the early aughts, he was with them. And he was only 63. He died from a fall. I always think that's got to be the worst way to die. Just anybody it could happen to anybody. I mean, I know any form of death could happen to anyone, but if somebody gets hit by a city bus, yeah, it's bad news. But you're a lot less likely to die that way than just falling in your home or slipping or something. He fell at his house, hit his head, and died from whatever the ensuing issues were. So if you were into the Dead Kennedys at all, I don't think he ever recorded with the Chili Peppers. I know he wrote a lot of the stuff on Mother's Milk. But if you were, and there weren't a lot of black guys in punk and hardcore, by the way. You had the Bad Brains in D.C., and you had a couple other dudes. You had Vernon Reid, Pre-Living Color, but not a lot of representation, and D.H. Peligro was one of those guys. And I had friends that were like heavily into the Dead Kennedys, and they were not around that long in their first iteration. They were only around 6-7 years. And then they split up, and everybody sued everybody else, and I think they buried their respective hatchets, and everybody came back together. But anytime I see somebody, because I didn't even see it until I saw like Flea and all these other guys sending out their RIPs and, sorry to hear and blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh my God, that sucks.
You have this t-shirt.
I have a Holiday in Cambodia t-shirt, yeah.
Also, my grandma just fell down and she didn't even die. She's 94.
That's what I mean. Like if you fall.
That's crazy that this dude in his 60s was, he wasn't in that
Yeah,
bad
but she
of
didn't
shape.
hit her head.
She hit some stuff.
I know, but I'm just saying, like,
she might have hit her head.
If you land the wrong way,
She broke a bone.
Yeah. But yeah, so he
she's
fell
not in
and
tip-top shape.
Well, that's what I mean. Like if you're an old person, a lot of times if you fall, like my grandmother fell a couple of times. She was living by herself until she was 102. So yeah, she'd fall a couple times, but people that old, they just kind of crumple. Their bones are like pretzels anyway, so it's like they're gonna, but this guy, he slips, hits his head. You know, there's so many veins in your
the Bob
scalp.
Saget thing, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It's like when you cut your, head injuries always look worse than they are because you have so many veins in your head. You can get a minor cut in your scalp and it looks like you got decapitated.
Well, that was the secret to all the blood in pro wrestling in the 90s, where they'd give themselves little tiny cuts on the head and it would bleed like crazy because it's
They still do that.
Right down their face.
I don't know if they do that anymore.
That's what
I
I
don't
was
know that
told.
they're cutting themselves anymore.
That's what Brian said. He said that's all real blood, that they do the same thing at like their hairline, and then
Okay.
it bleeds down
okay.
their face.
Well, I'll trust his. I don't know anything about it.
Because I was like, yo, this is a lot of
I saw
blood.
the wrestler. Yeah, so anyway, if you were a fan of that band, that's a real bummer of a story. Because he was pretty instrumental
Hey.
in that band early on. Yeah, no, but it's like you have to fall the exact wrong way.
Yeah. Or
You have to
hit
fall,
something.
hit your head. Yeah, it's something that, because there are a lot of places on your head you can hit and you'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
But you hit the wrong spot. I don't know.
I was always, I remember being told about the soft spot on babies' heads and just being terrified.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That
Like, I don't
Me
wanna
too.
touch
That's
it.
I still don't hold kids
Like,
to this day.
it's like-
You don't hold them like a bowling ball
I
by
look-
the head?
I look like the exact person that does not hold kids very often because every time I'm just very stiff. I'm like not like any. I don't look comfortable holding a child.
Well, you probably don't hold a child very often.
Well,
It's not your fault.
Well, I have a nephew. I have two cousins, which I also consider my nieces. So they're constantly around, and when they were just babies that were constantly being held, they're like, "Want to hold them?" I'm like, nope. And they're like, I think you should probably hold them. I'm like, don't, because I'm literally hands out like this.
Babies
They're
are
like,
also kind of made of rubber, too.
Can't
So
do
it's
much
like,
with it. Just hold their head.
yeah,
I
They're
get
the
the
head up.
scared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the best idea to be having Poundcake around kids holding kids.
I think
You know,
that there are times and places for.
Hey, I molest children.
Not now, Poundcake, please.
Not babies.
Not baby.
Not babies. What's the age limit?
No, stop, don't. Hey, I molest children. 18 is plenty.
You know that's not a child anymore. A baby is a child.
I don't do that.
how's things going with your new boy toy?
Sucking it dry.
No, that's good enough for me.
Yeah, that's fine.
Uh-huh.
Big ones, small ones, skinny ones, tall ones, brown ones, black ones, round ones, fat ones.
Wait, he says black ones.
I would love to get sucked up.
These are awful.
And then when I got a big load, I go put it in there.
How is it going with you and your? Was he a fellow pharaoh at the? Was he with you at the party?
No, I asked him, did he want to come? And he said,
Oh, you were
no.
flying solo.
Yeah, I went solo, but it's fine. I don't expect those are boyfriend duties almost, like going to parties.
Bill, he said duty.
Yeah.
Did you hear him? He said duty.
It's
Oh man, it's like poop.
Yeah, going to parties with someone, meeting their friends, meeting their family, like that.
You've been talking for a
was
while
great.
now, right? A couple months?
Yeah, but it's still, again, I don't want to hop into that because every time I've rushed into it, it's always bit me in my ass.
Why
I'm
is
just
that
not-
rushing into it? You go to a party, you introduce your friends, and then if they're done the next week, you go, he's not around anymore.
Well, I asked him. He said no. So
No, yeah, that's fine,
So
but I mean-
I'm not going to harp on the situation. But I don't. Again, he is not obligated to. I haven't met his
I
family
understand.
yet, and he hasn't met mine.
Well, this wasn't family. You were talking about friends.
These were friends, but I haven't met his friends either. Last time I talked to him, he was like at Halloween weekends. I was like, okay, enjoy yourself.
Oh,
Tell your friends to-
he's keeping you a secret. You're
No,
keeping. Yeah, he's keeping you a secret.
No, he's not.
Mm.
He's not keeping.
Didn't want to take you to Halloween weekends.
Sounds like a secret.
He didn't ask.
Didn't even ask. Hey, I got $1,000 here. It's a chance for you to go fund yourself. Do with it whatever you want. There's plenty of chances to win. This is just your most recent. So listen closely and good luck.
The Buzzard wants you to go fund yourself and score $1,000. Enter the nationwide keyword WIN at WMMS.com. That's WIN. Enter it now at WMMS.com. And good luck from Buzzard Radio.
Speaking of people dying, a wild story out of Colorado where the lawyer who was defending a club in a shooting case was killed at the club. There's a strip club. The topless club Shotgun Willie's in Colorado. I think this is in Longmont or somewhere. Glendale, Colorado. A 70-year-old lawyer named George Long. He was basically their lawyer. Like anytime something happened, you own a strip club, you got to have a guy on retainer because there's always going to be something going on. The money that is made in strip clubs, it must be amazing because I can't imagine wanting to run one because seeing boobies on the locals is got to get real old real quick, and there's always something happening that you have to get your lawyer on the phone. There's just girls getting harassed and dudes getting drunk and, all of the things that coalesce into just nonstop headaches. Owning a regular bar would be enough of a headache.
I had some appearances at a strip club a few years ago, and just interacting with the manager, and while we were talking, dancers would come in and they don't even know me, but they just unload every problem they have on this guy, and he's like, all right, just so much drama, and it was fun for me because I'm like, I don't have to deal with this, but it was a lot.
Well, I assume that because this guy was a strip club's lawyer, that he was probably there all the time. Mm-hmm. There's a reason where you really want to represent a strip club, right? You're that guy. He was defending the club against a guy, the family of a guy who was shot and killed in their parking lot. And in the middle of that lawsuit, the lawyer got killed or died. Wow. They think he had a heart attack. He was just drinking very heavily and acting weird. Even the girls were like, yeah, he's coming in and drinking with us and wanted to play cards. And, they said he only had 2 or 3 drinks, but in the span of a couple of hours. And then one of the bartenders, he got really drunk really quickly. And they thought that maybe he had taken mushrooms because it seemed like he was hallucinating. They were like, it seemed like it went beyond just being drunk. Hammered, yeah. And they said he was not making sense. And so they went back and checked on him. They said sometimes he would stay in his car in the parking lot. And they wanted to check on him, and he was dead. That's crazy. So now they got to find a new lawyer. I mean, I'm sure this guy wasn't working on this case alone, but, he went to Harvard. I mean, he's a legit guy, I
went on a few dates with a guy who insisted on doing his business at strip clubs. So he would tell me all the time, he'd be like, I'm taking a client to lunch at this strip club.
The amazing food at strip clubs.
That's what he said.
It's
he
just
was
like the articles in Playboy.
It's legit. Like their food, they got really good
Some
food.
places do have really good food.
But if someone asks
But some places have really awful food too.
If you're brand new business, right? You're meeting this guy for the first time, and he's like, hey, let's meet at the strip club. That wouldn't raise an eyebrow from you?
I think some guys think that makes them look like a player.
Yeah.
How?
Because they're talking to the girl. If they go there all the time, then when they bring a client, they look like Johnny Big Balls because the girls talk to him.
Well, yep.
Yeah, that's a whole other kind of thing. I mean, that's...
I was uncomfortable.
You
I was
have to...
what type of business you're doing, though.
That, and you have to assume that the client...
would be into it, too.
Yes.
What if they're not? And then now you just lost the client. You're like, hey, meet me at this place, and they show up, and they're like, you said they had a food special?
I'm taking the head of the Catholic universities over to the Peppermint Rhino or whatever.
When you're talking about the money that the strip clubs make, though, I told you about my very first shift at Hollister that I had to go to a strip club to get one. Did I tell you that?
You had to go. You were working at Hollister, and you had to go. Why to the strip club?
My very first day at Hollister was Black Friday, and I had to go with my supervisor, my manager, who was a female. And right across the street from the mall was a strip club, and
Belden Village.
What was that?
Were you at Belden Village?
How did you know?
Because I know there's a strip club right.
Yeah, how many strip clubs are across the street from malls?
Yes, it
probably
was.
a pretty small circle.
So literally.
Also, I listened to the show.
But this was years ago. I talked about that.
Yeah, well, he listens.
But yeah, no, my very first shift, her boss told her, go to there. She's like, I'm not going there, ill. And so they took me because they obviously knew I was gay. And I walked in and I was like, hi, sir. I'm in my Hollister outfit. And I'm like, hi, sir. Is there any way we can get some ones? We're working Black Friday and we're all out.
He's like, you're in luck. All the girls dancing are ones.
And he kind of he looked at me.
Let me laugh.
All right, go ahead.
He just looked at me so confused, and then the girl comes in with her little bob and her bag of money, and he's like, "Come into my office." And I'm just thinking, like, how much money could it possibly be? And when she gets back in the car, she's like, "I feel like I just robbed a bank."
It's all cash.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
I've never seen that much money.
that's why it's so tempting for people to do stuff they shouldn't be doing.
Yeah, I was like, I've never seen that much money.
I just don't know why
in
you'd
a
want
bag.
those hassles. I mean, whatever. Yeah. And so you were in like a golf shirt and khakis? Is that what it was back then?
I had a flannel,
Yeah.
some ripped jeans, and then I had the bottoms had to be folded. You had to fold the bottom of your jeans, and then I had like some slip-on shoes, and that was my very first.
Hey guys, you have any singles? I came in to get some change.
But it just
There's no bank around you?
not at that. It was Black Friday. It was like the
see.
night of.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it was Thanksgiving night still.
Gotcha.
And I was starting my shift, so no banks are open.
Yeah.
And people were lining up, and they're like, "Guys, we don't have enough cash. We don't have enough ones." And I wanted to do the money phone so bad. I was like, "Can I please?" She's like, "No." I was like, "Please, I did this for you. Can I just take a stack and just take a picture with it?" But
Take a picture with a stack of ones?
It
Money
was
phone,
a
where you
big-
hold the stack of
But
hundreds.
it's a stack of ones.
Yeah. It's supposed to
Money
be
phone.
hundreds.
But it was like thousands of them.
He's got a stack is $112.
Yeah,
All
look at-
to his ear.
It doesn't. They're not
Yeah.
going to see the exact ones. They're just gonna see
Netflix subscription for a year right
Yep.
here, guys.
Yeah. My money phone is prepaid with 112 ones. Oh, boy. The things that pass for flexing. Now, but you live to tell the tale.
Yeah, my very first shift at Hollister.
Hey, Woody.
Ellen,
Yes.
strip club lawyers are doing a show at the Beach for next Friday.
Yeah, I know they are. I already got my tickets. I'm going to get upgraded to floor by Live Nation.
Happy Halloween, my friend. Happy Halloween, Bill and Mary.
Yo, happy Halloween.
Are you dressing, Woody? Are you dressing up for Halloween?
No, I'm not. I'm kind of. I'm kind of over that kind of whole thing.
Understood. Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
You know, I might drink some.
I was gonna say
Grey
you
Goose
will
and-
get scary drunk, won't you?
I might drink some Grey Goose and pureed candy corn for the event.
Yeah, Grey Goose and candy corn. It's cone.
But hey, you guys are talking about falls, that cause death. That the Dick Kennedy's drummer, passed away from a fall.
Yeah.
I'm a roofer, and it's just amazing to me how, whether it's just falling down from your feet or falling down off of a step ladder or falling. Because I personally know two guys that have fallen 30 feet.
I'm sure you have.
and
Yeah. It'd be terrifying.
And they, and they got, they got screwed up a little bit, but they walk. They're fine and dandy. A broken wrist here, there, a broken, two broken ankles. But 30 feet in the air, you fall to the ground, and these guys are walking out like nothing. But and then somebody slips and falls and bangs their head on the sidewalk, and it's all over. It's
Sure.
pretty amazing how.
That's how Artie Lang's dad ended up paralyzed.
There's guys listening.
Yeah, wasn't there a news anchor in Cleveland, and her husband fell from a 4-foot step ladder?
Yeah, like Stephanie Schaefer or somebody like that. Yeah.
Is that who I'm thinking of?
I think
Yeah,
he
it
has
was
since passed away. Yeah. But what were you saying, Bill?
Yeah.
There's guys that are listening to this that are premium subscribers to Mary's Feet. And they're like, ooh, 30 feet, say it again.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, thank you, Woody. I got
toes.
Happy Halloween there. I got to take a break. If you want to text 35192, AlanCoxShow.com, you can watch live there. And you can listen anywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS. And everywhere you go.
quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
The Buzzard. The home of the Buzzard. The Buzzard.
This is 100.7 WMMS.
Cleveland. One of life's most pressing questions.
What do I like about Alan Cox?
Finally answered.
All right, I don't like much about you.
The Alan Cox Show.
On 100.7 WMMS.
Through the streets of Soho in the rain. He was looking for the place called Lee Ho Fooks. Gonna get a big dish of beef chow mein. Werewolves of London.
Poundcake, any idea who this is singing?
Hootie and the Blowfish?
Yep. Nailed it.
I know Kid Rock covered it, but I don't know who this is.
He didn't cover it. He used the
sample, yeah.
Melody from it. I'll give you two more guesses.
I'm not going to get it.
I know you won't, but I'd like to hear what you come up with.
But I don't even know anybody close to this.
This is Warren Zevon.
Okay, yeah.
Werewolves of London was his biggest hit. I've always been a huge Warren Zevon fan. It was 20 years ago last night that he did a final performance on David Letterman. Letterman gave him the entire hour. He had been diagnosed with terminal lung cancer, so everybody involved knew that Warren Zevon was going to die. And he joked about the fact that he probably shouldn't have avoided doctors for a couple of decades, but they gave him a few months to live. So at that point, he said, well, Letterman had been the biggest cheerleader for Warren Zevon in pop culture. There were a lot, as long as he had been around, there were a lot of people that still weren't familiar with Warren Zevon. Eddie Vedder would tell David Letterman that he turned him on to Warren Zevon. He's like, what am I, the only guy who knows about this dude? So he gave him the hour, October 30th, 2002. He'd be dead 11 months later. He died September 03. And pulled out all the stops and doing essentially a farewell album. I mean, imagine doing an album knowing that you're going to die. It's going to be your last one. So it was kind of a surreal experience. I still have this on VHS. I have Warren Zevon on the Letterman show when he was terminal. He knew he was going to die. He did one final album, called all of his friends that he'd ever worked with, because he came up with guys like Jackson Browne and Bruce Springsteen and Bonnie Raitt and all these people. He goes, let's do an album and get in there and have fun and blah, blah, blah. And there's still a lot of people who aren't familiar with Warren Zevon. He did the Larry Sanders Show. He kind of poked fun at himself by begging to not have to play Werewolves of London, and then they bring him out and he played with Werewolves of London.
I thought it was Werewolf Dolph Lundgren.
His hair was perfect.
Well, let's try it out, Aaron. Werewolf Dolph Lundgren.
No, not that part.
Oh, not that part. Because he separates him by this point in the song. Werewolf Dolph Lundgren.
Yep.
All right, I mean,
closer to the beginning. It
listen,
sounds more
you could
like
do a hell of a lot worse.
jumblier.
Yeah, you do a hell of a lot worse than Werewolf Dolph Lundgren. But, and it's Halloween. Why not? How many werewolf songs are there?
Just that one, I think.
There's a couple, but I mean, that's the best one. They're not even domestic werewolves. That's how rare it is here in the United States.
There's an American Werewolf in Paris. That's a domestic one on vacation.
London, yes.
No, there's a Paris one.
That's the sequel.
That's the one I've seen.
That's the bad one.
It's pretty bad.
The good one is the one that preceded it. That's the good one.
Well, because the
also in London.
Paris one was like early 2000s, I think.
Probably.
Late 90s, somewhere around there.
The original was 84, 85, I think.
It was, what's that dude's name?
81. Tom Everett Scott.
Yeah, that's the guy.
He was Andrea Savage's husband on that I'm Sorry show.
Yes.
He was in the Oneaters.
Mm-hmm. The drummer.
Yeah, the drummer in the Oneaters. So, no, not Hootie and the Blowfish. Poundcake. Hey, your Cavaliers beat the Knicks last night here at home. Did you go?
I did not go.
No. Oh, that was, never mind.
121 to 108. They will be back here at home on Wednesday night to play the Celtics.
That Celtics game on Friday went to overtime, and that was a great win.
Yeah.
Too. They're looking real good. Donovan Mitchell, man, that guy is insane.
As advertised.
Yep.
132 to 123 was the win over Boston in Boston, and so they'll play them here at home tomorrow night. Then they'll go to Detroit to play the Pistons. The Lakers have still not won, I don't think. As of now.
No, they won last night.
Oh, they won last night.
They beat
Who did they
the
finally
Nuggets.
beat? There you go.
They beat the Nuggets.
The Lakers had been the last winless team because the Bucks are the only unbeaten team. Bucks are 5-0, and LeBron and the Lakers. So anyway, Cavs will play LeBron and the Lakers on November the 6th, next Sunday. Next Sunday, yes.
This upcoming
Sunday,
yeah.
3:30 in the afternoon. And today, if you're going to get some gear at CLE Clothing Company, today's the last day to use the word spooky. Come November, tomorrow, you want to use the promo code PUMPKIN for 20% off whatever you get. Whether you're in one of their stores right around the corner from us or online. You get all kinds of stuff. Somebody texted me and said, hey, I want to look in your window. Are they keeping you guys under wraps or what? Because I was walking to the pumpkin show, and all I saw was the gym. And I go, well, you were on the Prospect side. We're on the Euclid side, is what you want to do. You want to walk through and come around this side. And you can wave in the window to no one.
Yeah, because we wouldn't be here.
No. I tried Liquid Death on Friday, by the way.
Oh, water.
Are we sponsored by them by chance?
We are not.
It's trash.
Well, it's not that it's trash. It's water in a tall boy can.
So it's water that tastes like a can. It's
I
like
didn't-
aluminum water.
I didn't get
can't stand
that.
it.
But what I don't understand is why it's like a 700 milli. You want to talk about the triumph of style over substance. It's not that it's bad. What I had wasn't bad, but it's flat water
I was going to
in
say.
a tall boy can, and it's worth $77 million strictly through marketing. And I'm like, boy, whatever these guys did, everything is timing. And like they've got fun names, Mango Chainsaw and Bury It Alive and Murder Your Thirst and all this stuff. But it's water, and they're getting stocked places solely off the
Everywhere.
marketing. And I'm curious. I mean, good for them. I'm just curious because I didn't know that's what it was. Gwen had been at a party or something and brought a can home. I thought it was at least
An energy drink or
like a
something.
White Claw
Yeah.
or something. It's flat water.
The first time, I think what it is for me at least is I think it's weird to drink something that is not carbonated out of a can. I can't think of another beverage that I've had from a can that is not carbonated.
There's a lot of energy drinks that don't have carbonation that come, like the tea ones. I drink a lot of
The Bai tea.
like Monster has tea ones that I
Okay,
like.
yeah, I had the Monster Recovery one,
Yeah.
like a lemonade one, but maybe once or twice. But still, you got to say that. I feel like that's weird. That's the weird combo. Anything in a can, I feel like should have carbonation.
Is their motto water that doesn't taste like it came from a can, but water tastes like you can? Like you can do it.
That's not their motto. That's nobody's motto.
not?
Well, it would wrap around the whole
Nobody's
can. I mean,
motto.
It's a long motto.
I mean, Liquid Death is only
Big can, though.
5 years old. It's the top-selling still water in the country.
What?
It's in 60,000 stores, including Whole Foods, 7-Eleven, Publix, Sheetz. I was like, what? And again, I've read stories on this the whole time. I had never had it. And then I had it, and I'm like, I must be missing something.
Fiji water's the best water. Or flat.
But again,
we're talking flat water.
But this valuation is solely from marketing, which is kind of an amazing thing. That means that a lot of people were like, it's got a skull on the can. Like, okay, I mean.
That means it's cool to drink
Cool.
water. It makes it cool and
Oh, maybe
edgy to
that's
drink
it.
water.
Yeah.
I mean,
no one
they
can
got-
tell you're drinking water.
They got it's advertised on a lot of podcasts, and the people that listen to it are like, yeah, I'll drink the Joe Rogan.
Well, but these are the kind of things, though, that feel like they crash just as quickly as they get up there. So
I don't think that has ever happened.
Name one time.
Well, and all these, I always laugh at these valuations, too, because they're always like crazy inflated and whatever. They're like, it's probably going to be a $700 million company. Okay. I mean, cool. And then, of course, because it is just water, they have to make it sound like it's much more than that. So it's like, people want healthy options, and it's part of the bigger culture, and their consumption habits are away from, and we're having more fun. All this like word salad rather than just going, it's water with a skull in the can, and people are,
You know how it's crazy that we're selling water in bottles anyway, and it's killing the environment? Well, what if it was in a can and you couldn't close it?
Yes, perfect.
But it is flat, so it's not like it's going to lose carbonation or anything. It's
But
just
you
flat
have- yeah, but
flavored
it's
water.
inconvenient.
They have
It's
flat,
inconvenient?
They have flat and
Yes.
they have
Sparkling.
carbonated sparkling. Yeah.
It is inconvenient because
How is it inconvenient?
Because at least if you have bottled water and you put it in, you drive with it in your car, it's not going to splash around.
I don't care about that.
No, what I'm saying is
that's
what I'm saying is
inconvenient.
open can. That has not killed the beer business. Is having
Beer
an
gets
open
you
can.
drunk.
can't take a beer
you,
anywhere.
You drink beer and you're like slamming it. That like you're trying to drink
You're
the
not
beer.
drinking a beer like you're drinking a water.
Yeah, like if you have a bottle of water, and those are like what 20-ounce cans.
You're saying people
Yeah.
are drinking the beer faster than the water?
Yes.
Yeah.
100% of the time.
And these are 16.9 fluid ounces. Anyway, don't get me wrong. If Liquid Death came to me and wanted to sponsor part of this program, I would say it was the greatest goddamn thing I'd ever had in my
That's
life.
why I asked before
I'm just
I said
really
anything.
surprised that because I had never had it. I had seen it, of course. Everybody's seen it. I just thought that there was more going on there.
I think more, like I said, for me, it's about the carbonation because I had one. They have that at Blossom, and when I went to the last show there, I got a carbonated one and threw a lime in it, and that was more tolerable. So I think for me, it's just the weirdness of it being flat and in a can. It doesn't taste any different. I mean, in my head, I'm like, oh, this tastes metallic, but I could have been making that up, I guess.
Alan Cox Show After Hours line. Anytime you want to call us, leave voicemails there, you can. It's 216-986-8903.
Hey, Alan. Hey, I just want to agree with Mary. You go out looking however you want to. Most of the time I go out, I basically look homeless when I go out. I don't really care what other people think. I'm an old fat man that's married, so why do I got to impress anybody else? Just saying. Hate the show. Deuces.
Yeah, I did get a lot of pushback from people when I said I'm surprised that people don't how people dress, right? And people were like, "Oh, you're turning into like get off my lawn guy." And maybe about that, not in general, but maybe about that, right? But again, your words always give you away. And what most people were telling me is like this guy, I'm fat and I'm married, so who am I trying to impress?
Nobody.
The thought being, the race is over. I got a wife.
Yeah.
Well, A, maybe try to impress her. B, what's the matter with like looking good when you go out?
Here's the point I'm at in my life. And I said this, my mom's
Because
been saying
you
this for a long
live
time.
with your boyfriend.
No.
If you were still single and
You
didn't know,
saw me when
and
I was
didn't,
single.
huh? Yeah, you were hammered all the time.
So
now
what's
that
the
you're
difference?
because you're sober, and the reason you get sober is because you don't want to be sloppy all the time, literally or figuratively. So I would have to think if sober single mare was still running around out there, you might not be running around in sweatpants.
Not true, first of all.
Okay.
Second of all, if you meet somebody in sweatpants, they got you at the lowest. It can only go up from here, pal.
Nobody's
So
looking
if
for
we're-
that. Part of the
If we're
fun.
making a connection in sweatpants, just wait till you see me in my knockout dress.
Part of the fun. Oh, so you think
Start the bar low.
the first impression should be the worst?
Yes.
No.
I didn't. So my boyfriend and I started dating
I
in
think
summer.
part of the fun is when you finally do see them kind of no makeup, sweatpants, like down the road. You're like, oh, okay, like this is a thing. You don't start there.
My boyfriend and I started dating the first time around in summer of 2019. And it wasn't until like our fifth date that he saw me with makeup on because we kept doing outdoor summer things. I'm not going to wear makeup to go canoeing. I'm not going to, you know what I mean? Like stuff like that where when we finally went to like our first dinner date, like nice dress up dinner, when I did my hair and my makeup and had on a nice outfit, that was like a couple dates in. And he was like, damn, look at you. You're a man. Like, yeah, see, I roped
But
you
then
in.
they want you to see, they want to see that all the
No,
time.
they don't, because he had already,
Yes.
that's at fifth date level.
Mm.
The first four, he didn't have to come back after not seeing me with makeup on.
I guess.
You're just a lot more into looks than the rest of us.
I just
Think
guess.
so.
I don't.
What about their heart? What does
I
their
don't
heart look
understand.
like,
I don't
Alan?
understand why people
Some makeup on that heart.
Some cold mascara on your cold, dark heart.
According to that guy, it's all the arteries are blocked. But what I'm saying is, I don't know why people don't take more pride in how they look for themselves. Is what I'm
Because
saying. A lot of
This is what
people
it
take
is.
a lot. I know it's not. That's my
Why
point.
does it have to
Why
be?
it doesn't? I'm surprised it's not.
I know if I wanted
It's a very
to.
narcissistic culture. I'm just surprised at how many people are like, I'm just going to put on my pajamas and go to the store.
I think it's a matter of
Because
confidence.
it's always people who go, I'm married. People take issue with the word impress. I'm not saying you have to impress anyone. What I'm saying is I'm just surprised. And it's always the people who go, I'm married. Who am I trying to impress? Yeah, but guess what? You weren't doing that when you were single,
But
is
there
my
are
point.
people that are
when
single
some
doing
people,
it
they
and
get
they
married and they go, the race is over.
I also think it's a matter of confidence. If you I don't need to look hot at the
Sweatpants
grocery
do not
store.
project confidence.
But I do not feel weird wearing them because I'm comfortable with who I am and the way that
I'm
I
not
look.
talking about you. I'm saying
I'm saying most
sweatpants
people.
don't project confidence.
But I'm not saying you want to appear confident. You are confident. So it's like I don't need to dress to the nines every day because I know that if I wanted to, I could. If I want to be a knockout, I could do it.
I'm not suggesting people wear a suit every day. There's a big chasm between three-piece suit and SpongeBob pajamas in the grocery store. There's
get
a
that.
huge
I understand that.
spectrum there. Somebody said, Alan, you're making the same arguments our grandparents used to get mad when people weren't wearing suits. And they were saying that jeans were for convicts. I'm not saying that. Obviously,
You
styles.
just called me a prisoner.
Obviously, styles change. No, because you're not even wearing jeans. You're wearing sweatpants. Styles change. People can do whatever they want. All I've ever said is I'm just surprised that people go, who do I have to impress? I'm not trying to impress anyone, but there's like a thing where everybody feels a certain way when they put certain clothes on.
Sure.
Right? The reason you get dressed up to be all sexy is because you don't look sexy in sweatpants.
But I don't
you
feel
don't need-
unsexy.
Right.
And I don't need to look sexy all the time.
Then why didn't you wear sweatpants to that fifth date dinner?
Because it was a nice go-out dinner. So
Why not wear
sweatpants?
Who cares?
I could have, but I
Why
wanted
didn't
to
you?
look good this time.
Because sweatpants don't look good.
No,
But
and
it's
also,
not about-
it's not
She
about...
just said I wanted to look good, so I put on
My-
a dress and makeup.
My argument is
You're
not
making
about
my
looking...
point for
no,
me.
I am not. You're making your own point.
I've already made my own point.
It's not about looking good. No one throws on sweatpants is like killing it. That's not what it is. It's about comfort and confidence where you're like, I don't need...
How comfortable do people have to be?
I'm telling you, sweatpants at the grocery store. That's how comfortable I need
think
to be.
being a little uncomfortable all the time keeps you on your toes.
That's fine for you.
Keeps your edge, keeps you some situational awareness, right?
Well, you're also not taking
Comfort,
into
by the
account
way,
that
is the enemy of creativity.
I disagree.
Absolutely true. Comfort is the enemy of creativity.
I would be so much more creative if it were 3 degrees warmer in here. But I'm not. That's why I'm not the best person on the show, you know? That's why it's you. This is
That's
your
what it
creative
is.
temperature.
Right. That's what it is.
I'd have been gunning for your job if it was 74. I'll tell you that much.
You know, Alan, if I could grow
let's call
bananas
her
in
bluff.
here,
Let's
Right.
call her bluff.
Yep. Pop
Let's
that
see.
up a few, and I can take my hoodie off. It won't bother me. Go ahead, Bill. What were you saying?
You're both wrong. No. Because there's different times you want to look and feel a certain way. And if I'm just running to the store and I'm in basketball shorts or sweatpants or
Right.
stuff like that, I don't care. And it's not like it's not the who am I trying to impress? It's I don't need to put on jeans to do this. I need to put on
baking soda.
the
No, I
minimum
understand.
amount of clothes to get to the
be
place
in public. Yes.
to get the stuff and get home. Because I'm not worried about how I look. I'm not worried if anybody
gonna
sees me
see
in
me.
public and be like, oh, look at Bill. He's just wearing basketball shorts and a T-shirt when he went to Target.
So I guess what's your
who
thing
cares?
when you're in public that you are
He
like
wants to
absolutely
impress.
not? I will never leave with shorts on. Why?
Well,
why are you so concerned?
All I said is I wouldn't, if I'm kicking around the house and I have to go somewhere, I put my jeans on.
You have to run up to the store to grab one item. You're
Yeah.
going to be gone, round trip, total 15 minutes.
Yeah.
You're putting on jeans.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I don't want to look like I've given up on life.
How does it look like you've given up on life to go get laundry detergent?
Because people don't know that I'm out for 5 minutes doing something.
Why do you care what they think?
I don't.
You tell me all the time not to care what other people think.
That's true.
So then what do you care?
It's
if-
not. It's what I think.
No, you said I don't want other people to think I've given up on life. That's what you just said.
Okay, fine. I think that sweatpants look like you've given up on life if you're wearing them out in public.
So why do you care what other people think?
I don't. I think that's what that looks like, which is why I put on jeans.
Okay.
I'm not saying it
But
is. That's what I think it looks
What you're
like.
worried about is what other people will perceive you as.
That's what I think it looks like.
Sure.
So I put jeans. By the way, it's not heavy lifting to put jeans on.
It is.
It's just as easy
Have you ever tried a zipper? Come on. And a button?
No.
Button fly? Get out of here.
I wore button flies for a long time. Went commando for a long time, just so I wouldn't have to mess with it. What?
I was shopping Sunday, and apparently that's the day where all the F-boys go to Giant Eagle. Like, they all just go there and shop.
F-boys go to Giant Eagle?
Like, they're all...
F-boys Sundays at Giant Eagle. Everybody knows about that. Yeah, it's like,
but they're
on
all...
Tuesday, it's $5 sushi. On Sunday, it's F-boy day.
But it honestly seems like they all just got out of the gym and they're all going there at the same time. I was included in that. They all.
Did you just get out of the gym?
No, I did my run, but it was.
Well, there you go.
Well, actually, no, I didn't do it Sunday because I was hungover, but I usually do. But there was a guy there in a tank top and shorts. I was just like, okay, one, it's not warm outside. It's not super cold, but it's not warm enough to be just wearing a tank top and then some basketball shorts. I was like, so this dude's probably trying to show off. He probably just left the gym or is going to the gym and he wants some little nutritious snacks here or something. So that is the exact opposite of your narrative, Alan. That doesn't seem to me like that's someone giving up on life. That's someone like
living their life, and it's a convenient time. They're like, oh, I'm going to the gym
because it did show
and
a lot
grocery store.
It was enough for me to notice because I was walking into the store and he was all the way down by the register, so he was checking out, and I noticed he had nice shiny arms, luscious pecs.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what. When you are looking at these dudes, it doesn't matter what they're wearing. You're not looking at what they're wearing. You're not the fashion. You're not. But that's all irrelevant to this conversation because you're looking at other things on those guys.
No, but he's saying the outfit.
You just talked about his sweaty pecs.
No, he's
they're
talking about
in lounge clothes. They're in workout clothes, sweatpants and a t-shirt, or gym shorts and a t-shirt.
Yes, and Poundcake wants to see the outline of their D. That's why he likes it. It's got nothing to do.
You're ignoring his point. His point is that these people haven't given up on life. They're bettering themselves by going to the gym. So just because they're dressed a certain way doesn't mean they didn't just run 5 miles.
Okay.
The other day,
if you just came from the gym and you want to wear your SpongeBob
you just threw them on.
If you just came from the gym and you want to wear your SpongeBob pajamas to Walmart, God bless. You know as well as I do, 90% of the people doing that did not just come from the gym.
They might have.
They did not.
I would say it's most likely.
They can barely stay vertical.
I'd say most people who have cartoon pajama
It
pants.
sounds like to me. So if the person's in bad shape and they're wearing is it SpongeBob's? I mean, you're really locked
Solely.
into SpongeBob pajama pants.
Minnie
but if they're
Mouse,
wearing
right.
pajama pants, they've given up on life.
I'm saying that when we all know that people will treat you a certain way based on how you look. Just a fact of life.
Yeah, but
people will treat you better if you're dressed nice or whatever. I'm just surprised the way some people treat each other, that more people are not cognizant of that. That's all I'm saying.
Right, but when you're going to a store now, you're not even interacting with anybody because they have no cashiers. So you're just going through self-checkout.
It's true.
Or even if you are interacting with a cashier, they don't care.
They don't care.
No one cares.
I'm not concerned about what the cashier thinks.
You tell Cody all the time, no one's thinking about you. No one's looking at you.
But
do what you're doing.
Everything that you bring up seems to contradict itself because you're like, it looks like you've given up on life to you.
That's all I've said.
Right.
This is my opinion.
But it's like
nothing beyond that. This is why I put on jeans if I have an errand to do. That's all I've
associating
said.
jeans with giving up on life.
That's all I've said.
I don't think the clothes are what makes you give up on life. I think there's a lot of reasons that show that you've given up on life. I think it's the dead eyes. That'll do it. So if they're not wearing sunglasses, I'm like,
probably giving up on life.
You've given up on illumination, haven't
and
you?
it looks like there's nothing behind them.
Yeah, that's right. All right, let me take a break here. I will have what for you? Well, I have Bill Maher tickets for you in about half an hour. He just announced a show this morning, MGM Northfield Park in May, I think, if you like Bill Maher. So we'll do those shortly. 35192 on a text for something. I'll have another $1,000 for it. Next chance for you to go fund yourself is coming up at 4:30.
The Alan Cox Show.
On our free iHeartRadio app and your favorite smart device. Just tell it to play the Alan Cox Show on iHeartRadio.
WMMS weather.
let's get to work.
This is no way to start your day.
The Alan Cox Show.
On 100.7 WMMS.
All I hear is Will Ferrell playing the cowbell when I hear this song. That has improved my enjoyment of this song.
Why? Was it in like a movie or something?
Bill, see me after the show, will you?
Okay. I have to stay after.
Yeah. Oh, no. The Blue Oyster Cult. What an underrated band, boy. Dig these guys. Gwen's seen them in concert. She went to a Blue Oyster Cult show. That's when I asked her to marry me. I heard from Bill over at the Foundry, by the way, in Lakewood. He said they sell a ton of Liquid Death. Because sober people who drink it later in the show just like the feel of the can.
Oh, sure.
You don't sell bottled beers at a concert club or something. You sell those tall boy cans, and there you go. Yeah, again, it is the triumph of style over substance, but I mean, if you're running that company, that's good news. Danny's out in Port Clinton. What's going on, Danny?
Hey, I totally agree with you with the going out with sweatpants and pajama bottoms.
Well, Danny, my next question is going to be, how old are you?
50.
50? You're younger than I am. Wow.
Yeah, not by a lot. But yeah, I think it's like complete laziness.
I don't think, I'm not even saying it's laziness. All I've ever said is, I'm surprised that more people, I don't know, it goes back to like, you don't know who you're going to run into, or I don't know. You know, let's say you're out there. I know I keep going back to pajama bottoms, but whatever, right? I realize pajama bottoms and sweatpants
Those
are
are different.
Two different vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Not
Let's say,
ripped, but yeah.
well, they are. I mean, I get that. I mean, I don't think I have sweatpants. I have like a pair of joggers, but those are essentially like whatever. But let's say you're leaving the Giant Eagle, and oh my God, something just happened out there in the parking lot. Here comes Channel 5, and they're doing a stand-up, and they go, "Ma'am, come over here and give us a comment."
From the waist up anyway.
You don't know that. They could do a full shot.
Maybe.
Then do a full shot.
And you'd stand in there in sweatpants and
So what?
Come
then
on.
you look like everyone else on the news.
Why do you want to look like everyone else?
What is the difference? If you don't care what other people think, why does it matter?
What am I speaking Chinese?
No.
What's the point of looking like everyone else?
What is
That's
the point?
That's a virtue?
If that's what I want to wear,
I
why
want
do
to stand
I
out,
care?
homie.
Why?
Why not?
Why do you want to stand out if you don't care what people think of you?
You're not going to stand
It's
out if
about
you're
me.
wearing jeans either, though.
Let me reiterate. Everything in this is about me. It's about me. It's about
right,
Danny.
So listen, like, I was born in Cleveland, and I lived in Lorraine.
Oh,
for
good
like
for
a
you.
minute. No, like Lorraine, you would go everywhere, and everyone was in pajama bottoms or sweatpants.
What of it?
And you would just be like, you're trash. Like,
Well, no, I'm
you
not
couldn't
saying.
take
I'm not
2 minutes.
saying that.
Yes,
I'm
you
not.
are, Alan.
No,
Alan, you agree with Danny, and you think everybody that wears pajama pants
I-
or sweatpants is trash.
This is why it's going down a weird road. I'm not. Thank you, Danny. I'm not. That's not what I'm saying.
Anyone that doesn't dress like Alan is trash.
That's what I'm saying.
There you
Thank you. I just
I
needed
want-
to,
I'm gonna
needed
change.
to make
Anyone
it more.
that's not Alan is trash.
That's
There
right.
it
There we
is.
go.
That's right. I'm just trying to get that point across. Why can't everybody understand that?
Shut up, Poundcake.
Hey, I was co-signing. I was actually putting fact to what he was saying. I live in Lorraine, and I know he was, or I lived in Lorraine. I know he's telling the truth.
Well,
Hey-
no one's doubting that there's people wearing sweatpants and pajama pants.
And they
in
are
Lorraine.
trash.
Yeah. Well, you said it.
Cosign.
You're from there.
Shut up, Poundcake.
I'm not calling anybody trash.
Yes, you are.
No, you just did. Danny did. He's out there in Port Clinton.
I didn't call them trash. I just said I was co-signing.
You said
saying that
I
there's
lived in
fruit to
Lorraine and they are trash. Was what you said.
Shut up, Poundcake.
What you just said. I didn't say that. Anyway, a lot of people took umbrage with my take on that.
Fine.
That's completely fine.
Whatever
Hey, Sue.
you want.
Hi. I was always wondering about the song. AC/DC sung it in the 70s, and I always keep hearing them say, oi, oi, oi. What are they saying? I know it's a Clevelander in me, but
Well,
that's like going, oi.
They're saying oi. Yeah, they're an Australian band, so they're saying oi.
Really?
AC/DC, yes. What did you think they were saying?
Oi.
Oi.
Well, you're right.
You were right, yes. It's just like an interjection, right? I mean, they're an Aussie band, and yeah, it's kind of a punk thing, right? I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. Oi, get off my car. I've said that before.
Oi, oi, oi.
Instead of hey, you can go oi. So Sue, now you know.
Well, in Texas, if you do that, they're like, what?
Yeah, there's a lot of things you can't do in Texas properly.
Yeah.
Yeah, defend women, the whole bit. Yeah. Thank you, Sue. There's Sue out in Willoughby. Let me give you some money. We can do that properly. It's $1,000, about 30 past every hour during the day, and into the eve, you can go fund yourself. So $1,000 right here. Listen closely. Good luck.
The Buzzard wants you to go fund yourself and score $1,000. Enter the nationwide keyword BILLS at WMMS.com. That's BILLS. Enter it now at WMMS.com. And good luck from Buzzard Radio.
By the way, for people who might be partying tonight on Halloween, let's say you're coming to the, I don't know, Cox Out pregame. 5:45. We start at the Ivy tonight for Monday Night Football. Halloween cocktails might affect your birth control.
Uh-oh.
FYI.
They have antibiotics in them.
What do?
I'm asking, do they have antibiotics
Well,
in them?
a lot of seasonal cocktails, not just Halloween themed, but a lot of black cocktails use activated charcoal to make them black. But there's stuff in that can mess with your birth control. So just be aware. Now, I don't know what they're going to be doing at the Ivy, right? We're going to be having some beers, going to be having some tequilas, whatever. I don't know if they're doing Halloween drinks.
You
but
doing
a lot.
tequila Red Bull tonight?
Yeah! I'm doing tequila liquid death.
There you go.
Yes, indeed. But for people who are going to Halloween parties, maybe, and I mention this too, because maybe you went to one this weekend and you had no idea that it might render your birth control ineffective. You know, we're in a brave old world now where there are a lot of places in the country where accidentally getting pregnant is a big, big deal now. And so you got to just be careful. So what you're going to want to do is, before you imbibe in any themed drink, you're going to want to go, hey, you're going to want to ask that overworked bartender behind the counter, hey, is there activated charcoal in this? And they'll be happy, I suspect, to take a second, investigate each and every ingredient in that drink to put your mind at ease.
There's a new show on Netflix called Drink Masters. And there was an episode, it's one of the first, it is the first episode, and a guy puts dry ice in the drink, and they're just like, well, we're not going to drink that because it could kill us.
Yeah.
And they're like, but I know how to do it right. He's like, yeah, but I don't trust you, so we're not going to drink it. It was such a bummer for this
You're
guy.
on a competition show,
Yeah.
right? We don't know who you are.
Right, but it's
you
also...
came in through casting.
It's one of those things where I think it was really unfair. Like, they give him the ingredients to use, and then he's not allowed to use it?
Well, he doesn't have to choose that.
Seemed like.
But is it based
seemed
on
like a setup?
Is it based on appearance and taste?
Yeah,
it would have to be, right?
It's all the stuff.
I see. I haven't seen that. Drink Master?
Yeah.
Surprised it took them this long. They've done every other kind of master. I like Nailed It. That's a good show over on Netflix. Nicole Byer. People make terrible cakes.
It's so funny.
They try to replicate the cake.
I love it.
Because I'm watching it going, and I'm saying to Gwen, I'm like, A master baker could not recreate
No.
that in 90 minutes.
No.
So you're set up to fail. They just want to see,
But
like,
that's why it doesn't do anything
How
for me.
bad
It's
it
somebody
could
that's
look.
bad, and then they just do
No,
a
it's not
bad
bad.
job.
It's just like an at-home
Yeah,
Yes.
chef or whatever.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, just-
I love to bake for my family.
right,
You know?
amateurs. Yeah. Hey, Joe, hello.
Hey, how you doing, guys?
How are you?
Hey, fine, thanks. Happy Halloween. I don't want to change the subject. I just got a quick comment to make about the wearing the pajama pants and the sweatpants or whatever to a store or anything or anywhere out. I would never leave my house in sweatpants or pajama pants just to go to the store to buy even one item. Even if I don't have to get out of my vehicle, I would have to go to the drive-up window. I'd get myself dressed, and it's all a product of morals and I guess how you were raised and how you feel about
It's not
yourself.
there's no moral component to fashion. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
How does morals work into it?
How old are you?
I'm 63.
There you go.
Yeah, but Joe, how do morals come into the equation?
Well, I guess it was just how I was raised. I was raised different. I wouldn't walk out in my shorts or even anything, even to get my mail. I would.
Dude, were you abused?
Well, no. But you understand it's not. A lot of things aren't the way they were then. I mean, things change. But I'm just curious where the moral component
Wear
comes in.
shorts, man. Be free.
No, yeah, or just walk out naked, right? Yeah. I guess it doesn't matter, but I wouldn't do it because I'm afraid somebody might see me and go, "Hey, look at Joe over there. He's wearing his underwear out to
Again,
get
so
his
it's
mail."
all about how other people perceive you.
I understand that, yeah.
Yeah,
But when I mean, there's no right or wrong to it. There's no when you said morality, that's
No.
what threw me off. I mean,
it's just I guess I was raised different, and
yeah, it's a personal preference, and I'm copping to that too.
Yeah.
All I've ever said is I'm just surprised at how many people are like, whatever. Okay, hey, thank you, Joe. I appreciate it. There's Joe out there in Orwell, Ohio. Orwell, of course, the mayor's name, Lawrence Bottoms.
Hey.
So maybe that's why he's got some particular thoughts on it. Hey, Ken.
Hey, how are you?
It's Ken coming to call me.
Hey, I was
Anyone?
just wanted to make a comment. You're already off the activated charcoal comment. I just wanted to put out there. I was wondering if activated charcoal made condoms disappear.
I don't know, Ken, but I'll tell you what, it's worth looking into.
Hey, you know what? Maybe I need to drink some drinks with some activated charcoal in it.
Right.
It might feel better, right?
Well, look into it and have your report on my desk by next Monday morning, okay?
All right, thanks. Bye.
Thank you. There's Kenny out in Brunswick. What?
I don't know if he was making the point he thought he was.
He's not. But I'm happy to engage him and let him go all the same. So thank you. Alan Cox Show After Hours line for people who want to leave us voicemails there. You can do that. It's 216-986-8903.
Alan, baby, it's Dad Joke O'Clock. And in the spirit of Halloween, here's a couple
Is this Corey in Tarpon Springs? He's the only guy that calls me baby, I think.
don't know.
Okay.
Halloween-themed ha-has. Why did the ghost get so many DUIs?
Does anybody know why the ghost got so many DUIs?
Why did the ghost get so many DUIs? He couldn't walk a straight line. He blew boo-hoo over the limit.
He blew over the limit.
I don't know.
Because he was full of booze.
I was close.
Right, yeah. All right, full of booze.
That's it for now.
Oh, that's it for now. Just that? Okay, thank you.
We were doing that yesterday. We made lunch, hanging out, just, having an at-home day. And my boyfriend's daughter, she goes, does anybody know any Halloween jokes? And I was like, I didn't know any off the top of my head. I was like, no, I don't think I know any. And so we're trying to make them up as we go along. And the one that I was proud of, hers made absolutely no sense.
Mm-hmm.
Why was Frankenstein in the bath? And we're like, why? And she's like, because it was green. And we're like, okay. We're
Because it was
that makes
green.
No sense.
right.
Yeah.
The only one I came up with, and we're trying to come up with them on the spot that I was pretty proud of. You guys are going to get this. I said, why did the ghost girl need a bra?
Boobies.
That was it. That was the only one.
All right.
She liked it.
Yeah.
Brian told the lame one that she cried laughing at.
Why can't a
Let's hear
vampire
it.
go
Let's
to a
hear it.
barbecue?
Why?
They're afraid of steaks.
Good one. I don't remember what his was. He might not have. He might have only. Oh, she was tiptoeing around. That wasn't even a joke. She was tiptoeing around the kitchen, trying not to step on the cracks in the tile. And he goes, "Hey, Twinkle Toes, get out of here. I got to sweep." And she lost her mind. Laughed for like 5 straight minutes. And he called
Twinkle
her Twinkle
Toes.
Toes.
Yeah.
And I looked at her, I was like, I am coming up with boobies off the top of my head. This guy just says Twinkle
A
Toes.
well-placed nickname can really go a long way.
Unbelievable. I think I have one more. Oh, why didn't the skeleton go to prom?
Don't know.
Bones are his money.
Not the bones are his money. He didn't have the guts to ask anyone.
Because he doesn't have guts.
Did it? 'Cause he's skeleton.
Hey, is it Margaret? What's your name?
It's Margaret. Yep.
Margaret is what my screen says. Okay, what's going on, Margaret?
Oh, that's all right. Well, we were just talking about the pants and the sweatpants and the pajama pants. I made the mistake of one time leaving my house with no pants. So
How did you do that?
I was sleeping at a friend's house, and we were going to go do something, so I was just going to dash on home to grab a change of clothes and just left in my T-shirt. And I accidentally kind of rolled my car into the guy in front of me, who promptly got out of his car and lost his mind and had to call the police. So the cops showed up, and I had to get out of the car in nothing but a T-shirt
Yeah.
and walk to the cop car.
Was it summer? Did you have vinyl seats?
Oh, you know what? It was a long time ago. I can't remember, but it's a cop car, so probably.
Oh, you'd know if you had to peel your ass off vinyl seats in the summertime. You'd remember that. Yeah.
It would have made a bad situation worse. Yes.
Right.
But, yeah.
Okay, thank you, Margaret.
I got a
Those are the kind of people who leave their kid in the backseat of a hot car all day.
I got a dad joke, Halloween joke for you.
Here we go.
What does it sound like when a witch flies by? Broom, broom.
Hey, there you go.
Hey, Tim.
You guys can all use that.
Oh,
out
I had
there.
another one too. Okay.
Hello, Tim.
Hey, Alan, I got a dad joke for you, but I'm kind of missing the bar here because it's not a Halloween dad joke.
Come on.
And I want to make all your listeners' brains hurt as bad as I possibly can.
Yeah.
So, where does a tree keep his money? Its money.
I don't know. In a trunk?
Its nearest bank branch.
Yeah, well, there it is. Okay, thank you, Tim. I appreciate that.
What's a mummy's favorite food?
Spaghetti.
Tape.
Tape?
Gauze.
A sandwich. Get it? Because they're in the desert of Egypt.
Can I get a judge's ruling on
That was
that?
another off the top of my head one.
All right.
Still better than Twinkle Toes.
Well, Poundcake always wanted to be a pharaoh, so he can. All right, I've got to take a break. If you want to send a text, 35192, AlanCoxShow.com is where you watch the show. And wherever you are, you can listen on the iHeartRadio app.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS. And everywhere you go on our free iHeartRadio app.
800-348-1007.
Press the yellow button to begin enjoying your Alan.
What is an Alan? The Alan Cox Show.
On 100.7 WMMS.
Got something for you before we get out of here shortly. Oh, I got Black Panther passes for you. Wakanda Forever is the Black Panther sequel. Sans one Chadwick Boseman. Of course, he passed away. And I haven't seen any advance word on the movie. It's got to be an incredible task to do a sequel for a massive movie when your star has died. Even Liam Hemsworth is going to replace Henry Cavill over in that Witcher show. And that's not nearly as big a deal as Black Panther. So I'll have Black Panther passes for you. We're doing a sneak on November the 9th out at Cinemark Valley View. So you'll see it. It opens that Friday, so you'll see it a couple of nights before everybody else. The final film in Phase 4 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. For people who are keeping track of those things. Nerd alert! Nerd alert! Nerd alert! Of course, now, so we're going into Phase 5. This is where they will pull out all of the tertiary characters and try to make movie franchises out of them. Mm-hmm. So I'll have that for you about a half an hour. If you listen to the show, by the way, on iHeartRadio from outside Ohio, tell me where you do that. I'm always curious where people are listening. Evan listens in Minneapolis. Brian is in Memphis. Norm listens in Detroit. Spencer's down in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And Steve listens in China Grove, North Carolina. So thanks. You can always leave us messages there, too, if you want.
You guys, enough of the sweatpant conversation. I had to check my phone to see if I was on an old podcast when I got into my car today, because this is a conversation that I feel like we have every other day. If you like sweatpants, wear sweatpants. If you like jeans, wear jeans. If you don't want to dress any at all, have at it. Let me know where you'll be. I'll watch.
Yeah, I don't like your voice. I didn't ask you a friggin' thing.
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.
Right. Samuel L. Jackson. We ended up, because it was just starting, didn't really intend to, but it was just starting. And we watched Jurassic Park with our daughter yesterday.
Oh,
The very first Jurassic Park. She had her hand over her eyes because there's kids in danger in that movie constantly.
Yeah.
What makes it so good.
Right. It's thrilling. But I kind of told her, I'm like, everybody's going to be fine. It's just going to be a bit of a roller coaster until then.
Not the lawyer.
Not all the kids. She didn't care about the lawyer.
Mm-mm.
God, the first Jurassic Park is still literally, even with their old-timey effects, it still stands.
It's so good.
It looks great. It's my favorite movie.
Isn't it? It's funny you mentioned that, because I was watching it. I was like, this represented state-of-the-art special effects in 1993.
But it was good,
It's not that bad.
No, I know, but you watch it now and you're so attuned to how things have improved that you're like, it looks kind of cartoony.
That's what I'm saying. To be quite honest, like the newest ones, it's like over animated.
Yeah.
Like the dinosaurs.
There's so much
look
CGI.
Too fake. And I'm like, all right. So now they had to get a bigger dinosaur to fight the big dinosaur, and now they have to fight. I'm like, this is so old timey.
And Allosaurus.
But it was also peak Cool Goldblum too.
Oh yeah.
Right. No, I haven't seen it in a while, but great movie. That movie was supposed to be, because you think of Sam Neill, right? I love Sam Neill. He's in some of my favorite movies. He's in Event Horizon. He's in the Third Omen movie. I think he's a great actor. Jurassic Park was supposed to be, instead of Sam Neill and Jeff Goldblum, it was supposed to be Harrison Ford and Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey was Jeff Goldblum?
Yes.
He was Malcolm?
Well, this is
silly.
This is 93, where Jim Carrey could write his own. He could do whatever he wanted.
Yeah,
to
but
do.
he'd have been way too. Unless he could have played it a little more straight.
I
also,
think
when they
that's
started
the conclusion they came to.
Yeah, but when they started filming it, had he even really popped yet?
You might be right, but I mean, he was on a lot of people's radars. Listen, they made the right choice. I mean, it's, you know.
Because you want that like cool, sarcastic, not like over the top. I guess he didn't.
And
have
Harrison
to do
Ford,
that,
he would have been okay, but Sam Neill brought, like, you believed him as that character more than, like, he's just Indiana Jones with dinosaurs now.
Right.
If you have Harrison Ford in it.
And that's kind of how Chris Pratt plays the character he plays.
Yeah.
Again, I would have been fine with one Jurassic Park movie. I mean, it was such a monster. Now those kinds of movies regularly make $1 billion, but that was a big deal back then. The Jurassic Park. It was the highest grossing movie in history at that time.
It's the best movie I've ever seen in theaters.
It's awesome.
It was so fun watching that in theaters. I was terrified. It was so intense. And that's the movie that made me fall in love with going to the movies because it was such a great story. It is, yeah. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Like I came out of that movie, I'm like, I feel different. Like I'm like, I did. I was like the world. Like I saw cinematography in like the world after that movie. Like watching out, like it had just rained, so like the blacktop was all like shiny and stuff. I'm like, that's how it looks in the movies. And I watched a lot of shows like behind the scenes stuff, and I knew that they would wet down streets, so they look like that in movies. I'm like, and it was just all clicked and came together. Loved it. It's the best.
After I read a book, like if I finish a book, I will say for like a week after that, I narrate my whole life.
Yeah.
Like I just am like looking around and I'm like, as the Amazon Prime car pulled up in front of my house on the leafy street in the 4th day of November. Like that's exactly. I sat and sipped my coffee while I watched him unload.
Yeah. This guy unloaded right there in front of me.
He brought the package to my doorstep. Oh, there. It was pizza.
What could it be?
From Amazon.
Yeah.
A late delivery? A package I had forgotten that I ordered? Ah, it was pizza.
Speaking of
2 days late, and
sustenance.
I was reminded again of how I've been waiting on men my entire life.
Oh. And credits. What was the movie, Poundcake, that made you fall in love with going to the movies? Or did you? Did you not care? Some people don't care about going to the movies.
There were a few. I got suckered in. I never read the books, obviously, but I was a big Harry Potter movie fan. So, I mean, obviously,
Sorcerer's Stone, the very first one?
The very first one. That was when I started running around wearing capes. But I think I think it goes back even further than that. Like Lilo and Stitch, that was like a big one for me where
that was animated, right?
It was, but there was a movie theater in Oberlin that was like $3 a movie, and when my mom really just wanted a night to herself,
sure,
she's like, "Damn it, go to Apollo."
Go to the cheap seats.
But no, they're all like that. Oberlin was it was a one theater movie theater, and it was just like $3 and you go see a movie, and all the town's kids were there.
Oh, Oberlin had like an old-timey movie theater where they showed one movie every week?
Yeah, I think they updated it now because I think now it's owned by the college. But when I was a kid, the city owned it, and it was a one theater movie theater, and they had like $2 Tuesdays, and then the rest of the night it was like $3. So
I miss having theaters like that.
Yeah, you couldn't lose.
Yeah.
That's what. There was 2 screens in the Medina movie theater.
That's it.
And it was, yeah.
Was it called the Medina Twin?
I think it was just Medina Theater.
Oh.
And it was
Yeah.
kind of run down, but it was cheap, and we just go and see movies there and then hang out in the Medina Square because they had, a hot dog shop. It was just like a good afternoon.
We
had the Twin 400 on the far north side of Chicago.
Yeah.
2 huge screens.
What was your fall in love with movie?
Poltergeist.
Oh.
1982.
You saw it in the theater?
Oh, I was 11 years old, yes.
See, I was a little bit older. Mine was Pirates of the Caribbean. I saw that 4 times.
That just made you horny.
I think that might be part of it. Movies were not a thing we did because we had 7 people in our family.
Mhm.
So movies were, even 20 years ago, 30 years ago,
Really
movies
expensive.
were too expensive for our family to do. So it came out, I was in like 8th grade, I think. So I was like 13. That guy liner was huge. This is like prime pop punk. And I saw the first Pirates of the Caribbean in the movie theater, and I was like, this is the best thing I've ever seen. And then I saw it 3 more times.
Yeah, it was such a funny movie.
It was so funny. It was fun. It was like kind of
but it was kind of scary a little parts.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, mine was Lilo and Stitch. I looked up the release date. It was 2002, so I would have been like 10 years old when that came out. That was like the earliest one. And we saw that. It played at that movie theater for about like 2 weeks. I feel like we went every single night. And that was like my brother and I's thing. Ryan would bring his girlfriends there. I would be in a row by myself, probably just with a bunch of snacks. That's how it was.
He was cutting a hole under the popcorn.
I don't know what he was doing, but my mom, she's
Listen, we know Ryan wasn't wasting any popcorn either.
He finished the popcorn first, then cut the hole.
He had a real difficult decision to make. Every movie.
My mom wouldn't let me go by myself, so she would like, you're going to go with your brother. And then so we would go there, stick together, quotation marks, and then, quotation marks, I did it right. And then he would go with his date. That was the first one I remember seeing back to back to back. And then I think the Hannah Montana movie came out, saw that a lot.
Wow.
There was a few of them.
It's
the Hannah Montana movie.
After that, after Pirates of the Caribbean, I think not too long after that was Anchorman. Was like the next movie that I saw. There was like my first real big time going to the movies. I saw movies a bunch of times because it was like Pirates of the Caribbean, and then I remember seeing Anchorman a couple times. I saw 40-Year-Old Virgin a few times. Super Bad. Like there were several movies that I just latched onto so hard that I ended up seeing over and over and over again. But this was all high school age. This wasn't like a little kid. I wasn't 8 seeing 40-Year-Old
You had to pay
Virgin.
for your own tickets when you got older.
Right.
Yeah. You guys want to hear what Political Joe left me?
Been dying
Is it 9 minutes long?
It's pretty long. It's not 9 minutes, but. He called 3 different times. I stitched some of them together. Political Joe is a guy who calls occasionally. I call him that because his first forays into this show where he'd call hammered. I think he's a truck driver. I've been able to glean a couple of facts about him along the way, but and he will chastise me for talking politics, which I don't really do that often anymore, and then chastise me for not talking about politics enough. So it's always a roller coaster ride with Political Joe.
Hey, fat face, Alan.
See, it always starts out
very confrontational,
cursing, calling me names.
Hey, fat face, Alan. Alan. There you go again. Spewing your liberal fucking agenda on the radio with any pushback. There ain't a damn person on the planet, right? Oh, you don't take calls. You won't. Anybody who doesn't agree with you.
By the way, aren't I playing his call right now?
Yeah, but you didn't take it.
Oh.
He left it.
You know, if he was familiar more with the show, he'd know that the calls I die to take are the ones that people don't like me. Those will always be the very first calls I'll gravitate towards. They just don't usually have the nuts to call me live.
Your liberal agenda. And the 3 of you behind him, just flap your flippers like a damn seal from SeaWorld. Flap, 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 flap.
Actually, being the liberal that I am, I'm very against SeaWorld and having
Amen. Amen, Bill.
That's right.
You stand up for what's right.
That's right.
That's
they
right.
should not be performing like that.
If I can eat them, I can watch them too. What are you talking about?
If I can eat them, I can watch them.
Seal?
If I eat seafood, then why can't we go?
Do you eat seals?
I mean, if it was okay to eat, I can't say I wouldn't try it.
Okay.
And another piece of the Poundcake puzzle falls into place.
We love Ellen. Oh, he's our boss. We love everything he says. Hey, Poundcake, you would be welcome in the Republican Party. Poundcake, the gay lesbian community is moved so far right to the Republican. You make more money. You don't have kids. You can be rich. Welcome aboard, Poundcake.
Like Political Joe. I think he's
we don't
rolling
know that
in
he's
it.
not rich.
Well,
He sounds rich to me.
Sounds rich.
He sounds like a guy that doesn't wear sweatpants.
Rich
in
and
public.
friends.
Okay. God bless America. Sorry to be a bug, but I just want to thank you. I know the hard work you do. Editing these, everything you put into the show.
He does a complete 180.
I was like, wait a
He
minute.
just switches gears and
show. I know what you do. I understand what you do. It is not easy. It is complete, time-consuming. Alan, and everything you do, it shows on your radio show. I really like it. You got a hit on the buzzard. But Alan, I don't edit my stuff that I call in on and make me out to be a bad guy, Alan. I'm not a bad guy. You know that. Man, there's ways.
Mind you, I don't know anything about him other
But
than
you know
right.
he's a
I've
good
never met him, and he might be, but I don't know.
Ways left and right can get along, and I get along. I like what you do, and I know the hard work you put in behind the scenes for this. 99% of your listeners do not know what goes in behind the scenes, what you do. Well, I'm the 1%. I know the time and
So he is rich.
Told you.
He's one of the 1%ers.
Out here bragging
this
about
guy.
it.
Okay, well then
the
I will.
effort you put into making a great show, Alan. Hate the show, love the show, Alan. Keep up the good work.
Political Joe is all over the place. Oh my gosh. It's almost like halfway through he feels bad for everything he just said.
It's like an abusive relationship. That's what's happening.
Am
here.
I in an abusive relationship with
I think that
Political
you are.
Joe?
Yes.
Because I can't get out. I won't marry. I won't leave him.
He emotionally abuses you, physically or not physically, mentally torments you by calling you fat face and puts you down and body shames you. But then he feels bad, so he apologizes and says he knows how hard you work, so you feel guilty, so you never leave him.
Well, I hope
It's
he
a
knows.
cycle.
I hope he knows, Gesundheit. In no way is he mentally tormenting me.
Also, I want him to pay attention that just because we agree with Alan on things politically does not mean we are nice to Alan.
Quarter bagel.
That's
Sweatpants in
right.
public.
That's right.
His face is kind of fat.
I don't require people to be nice to me. I grew up Catholic.
We hit him
I
up.
don't know from that.
We fight back on the things that matter.
Right.
Also, what he said about me joining the Republican Party.
He is Republican.
I've heard that.
Poundcake's already a Trump guy.
I would say I've heard that from a lot of Republicans that they're like, you know how welcome you are here. You're like, don't go over to the left. They don't.
You know
don't
how
play-
welcome you are here. Yeah.
We don't want to have rights or anybody to,
But it's just so funny.
They shouldn't have to tell you if you
gonna
really
say,
were.
I have both Republican and Democrat friends, and the Republicans always say like, don't go over to the left. They use identity politics, and I'm like, and then you say like,
All
but you're-
politics are identity politics.
They're like,
by
you
the
as a
way.
black gay man, you should not be going to be used that way. And I'm like, you just identified me as a black gay man, and you want me to be on the Republican Party, so you can say you can have a black gay Republican. You do the same thing.
Yeah, but no.
Well, you know why they like him.
Hey, I molest children. What does that have to do with me? I don't do that anyway. But what does that do?
Hey, Dean.
Not babies.
Yeah.
What's up?
How are you?
Good. What's up?
Hey, a while back I heard people commenting about wearing sweatpants out in
Oh, boy.
public.
Yeah.
I got a $40 pair of Under Armour sweatpants I wear all the time. I never get any
Must be nice.
comments about them.
Must be
Yeah.
nice.
So I think it's all right. People go out and, be comfortable.
Yeah.
But anyway, I got a joke for you.
Oh, boy.
Why don't witches wear panties?
I don't know.
Lose the grip.
To get a better grip on the broomstick. Very good, Mary.
Oh, Mary, you did it. You
I knew it.
bested Dean in Amherst.
Vaginal
Holy
jokes
camole.
for the radio.
All right. Nice.
We did it.
We did it. All right, I'm going to take a break. I'll come back. I'll have those Black Panther passes for you. And then I got to haul ass over to the Ivy. We're going to do the Cox Out pregame tonight. That starts around 5:45. If you want to join me for that with Bud Light, might get yourself to the Bahamas. And I'll have the Wakanda Forever passes here for you when we return. 35192 if you want to text for something.
It's the Alan Cox Show.
On our free iHeartRadio app and your favorite smart device.
Just tell it to play the Alan Cox Show.
On iHeartRadio. From the Universal Windows Direct Weather Center, WMMS Weather.
Tonight, showers are possible. Your overnight lows will be in the 50s. For your Tuesday, a chance of showers early, otherwise cloudy with your highs in the 60s. And Tuesday night will be clear with your low near 50.
This report is sponsored by the Ohio Lottery. Start your week out with a bang and play Powerball on Mondays, too. With Powerball drawings on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays, you have 3 chances to win big every week. Tonight's Powerball jackpot is $1 billion. Get your Ohio Powerball tickets today.
Progressive presents today's to-do list for your cat.
Take a nap, meow till I get food, walk away from food, move to couch, see human, give cold shoulder. Take a nap, meow till I get
Your
food.
pet has a very busy schedule, so it's up to you to make sure they're protected. That's why Progressive Car Insurance covers your pets for up to $1,000 if they're ever in a car accident with you.
Move to couch, aggressively clean myself. Take a nap, meow till I get food.
Get coverage for your pets with anti-auto policy from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage for cats and dogs included with the purchase of collision coverage and subject to policy terms.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively